fuck, man? Are we live, man? The fuck is this, man? Did you turn this fucking thing on, man? Or do you press the fucking button, man? I don't give a fuck, man. Where's the fucking button, man? The fuck this shit, man. Hold the fuck on, man. The fuck, man. I got the fucking spider over here, man. The spider web of the fucking cable over here, man. Fuck. The fuck, man? Where the fuck you could pull this shit here, man? I don't give a fuck, man. I want to plug this fucking thing in, man. So shut the fuck up, man. You know what, man? You talk too much, man. You're fucking up my ears, man. You're like a fucking octopus in my fucking ear, man. Let me do this fucking thing, man. There. It's better. Ah. Fuck, man. Technical difficulties, but I got it. Manny's helping me out. Here we go. Can you guys hear me? The fuck, man? Can you hear me, man? The fuck, man? There you go, man. Give me 1 second, man. The fuck, man? Oh, man. Can you hear me good, man? That's good, man. You know, I like it like that, man. When you can hear me, we can do business, man. Hold on, let me get this whole fucking thing ready here for this lazy Sunday. Hold on. What the fuck's wrong with your throat, man? You just swallowing a fucking octopus or what, man? Try not to laugh. Hold up. All right, Cameron's gonna join us pretty soon. There we go. Also, we're gonna get Brandon as well. I don't know if he has time or not, but I'll send him a link anyway. Dominic, I can send you a link too as well. Dominic, if you want to come in, I'll send you that link. That link. Fuck, man. The fuck you do this, man? Yeah, but which fucking button do you press, man? I don't give a fuck. Here or there, man. Where the fuck do you press the fucking button, man? Yeah, definitely lazy Sunday. The fuck's wrong with you, man? They just swallow a fucking cockroach or a fucking octopus, man. Oh, God. Oh, fuck, man. Ah, there's Cameron. There he is.
Can you hear
Share
me?
screen. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, but for some reason it's not showing up on the screen. But that's okay as long as they can hear us. That's fine.
How's your Sunday night going?
It's been going pretty good so far. Been busy doing some errands in the morning. Just came from my Moses house friend's house. Came in, had a little barbecue and all that. Man, I got a sunburn, terrible sunburn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I look like a fucking octopus, man. Like a fucking red lobster, man. The fuck, bro?
Can only imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's hot, man. It's scorching hot here in August I mean, in Florida, in Miami.
I
It's
can only
terrible.
imagine.
Yeah, and man, there's these freaking flying bugs, man. I don't know what the hell it is. It's not like a fly. It's like I don't know what you call them, man. They're hard as stone, dude. They're huge. They're about like at 3 inches, man. They're flying around. They're like hitting in my head. I thought somebody hit me with a fucking little stone or something. Then Moses says he said something in Puerto Rican. I can't remember what the word was that he used. He calls them a specific name, something in Puerto Rican, acuracha, whatever the hell he called it, something like that. And it's and then we had a bunch of iguanas running around, man, been chasing them. One of them jumped in the pool.
Huh.
Yeah, there are iguanas down here, man, like everywhere, dude. Yeah, but they're good for cockroaches. You know, if you want to clear out, listen, you put iguana inside your house, I guarantee you, you won't see any cockroaches. Zero. Like, you gotta clean the house, bro. Like, it'd be like a cockroaches genocide.
That's
Yeah.
something I don't see over here. Iguanas. I guess that's unique to Florida, maybe, right?
Oh yeah, they're huge, man. They grow up. I mean, they can grow up to like let me see, in about uh 18 to 20 24 inches. Sometimes they go up to 32 inches. They can go up pretty big though.
Don't you guys get alligators and
Oh my god. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, they're huge, man. They're getting bigger and
yeah, I
bigger,
never
man.
seen one in real life. I never seen one in real life.
Oh, dude, they stink. Well, that's the first thing. They stink, and when they open those jaws, when they close them down, there's that scary noise that you hear, like,
Yeah, yeah,
you
alligator,
know,
crocodile.
yeah, yeah. And man, you can just almost feel the weight of those jaws, and that's it. If that shit catches your arm, there goes your bye bye your arm. You know, I mean, you're done.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
can,
I can only
yeah,
imagine. Yeah.
they'll
Like,
go through your hand like a butter, dude. Take that arm out like it's nothing, like it's a joke. And you see what they do to like these like big wild hogs, and they got much thicker, stronger bones, and they'll go through their bones like a butter, like nothing. Yeah, I've seen them, dude. I've seen the 12-footer, 13-footer, man. I used to actually help Florida Fish and Wildlife. I used to help them out when I used to work in this one country club. I used to help them out, like get these alligators from the golf courses, you know, because they would
shit.
always. Because these wealthy people, they always make like they built these golf courses right in the middle of the freaking swamp, you know, right next to the alligator habitat, and they're wondering why the fuck there's a 12-foot alligator.
And
Don't build it there.
I even heard some people get their little dogs fucking eaten by these alligators or crocodiles.
Yeah, all the time, man. I cannot tell you how many times this actually happens. It happens more than you think. And it's sad that people actually buy these houses and they understand you got to build like a wall fence around it.
Yeah,
And you because if you let your dog out next to that lake, or let's say it's like a little like a
fucking
little
chihuahua.
yeah,
A
yeah,
little
like
poodle.
yeah, they have these little lakes, right? These little lakes around
Oh yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
areas.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And the problem is these alligators, they're down at the bottom and they're just looking. They're looking up and waiting patiently to see who's going to come in the menu. But you don't see, but they see. And they just come out of the water and they grab you. That's it. And then they drown you and then they eat you afterwards. And that happens all the time with with these dogs, little puppies and whatnot. And usually it's the people who are not familiar with the Florida and areas
Yeah,
around the
yeah,
Florida.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah,
like the people who live in like other parts of the world. They come there and they probably like for the winter. They probably like stay in Florida. They live in Florida because it's always hot there. But they're not used to the having the alligators and even certain unique wildlife over there. Even like me,
yeah,
sometimes when I watch a TV and I see, I'm like, holy fuck! I thought because when I think of Florida, I think of Florida like New York City, like Toronto, like like a regular city. But then I forget you guys got some crazy wildlife that other places don't see on a daily basis. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Good.
But we also have, as a matter of fact, a friend of mine was telling me that starting of October 25th or 26th, there is actually, when it's legal, between October, I think, 25th, all the way through November 11th, when you can actually hunt alligator. There's like that 1 month, 2 weeks, 1 month and 2 weeks where you can actually hunt
Yeah.
alligators. And the reason they do that is so they can, make that equilibrium. So that way you don't have so many damn alligators running
Yeah.
around. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like there has to be a balance. This is what people don't understand when it comes to hunters. You need hunters to make that equilibrium. Otherwise, you'll have Bumbies in your backyard everywhere. You'll have black bears in your backyard everywhere. Sometimes we have to. You need hunters to make that equilibrium. To balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
The population of the wildlife. Has because if you don't, then they're gonna be in the cities. They'll be running around everywhere. you know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
have to. Yeah, that's why you need hunters. That. But the problem is this whole new generation doesn't know anything about anything. They can't even tell you which side of the pen smells the worst, right?
Yeah.
they're gonna educate you, right, about the hunting. They're gonna educate you about survival in the wilderness, right? Because they live in the van, so they figured everything out, right? They all live in the van. You see that crap? All these videos about like all these chicks living in a van, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
then
The homeless chick, the fate. Then yeah. I know what
yeah, and then you see they have a fancy camera that cost about $3,000, and then you see there's a BMW brand new M6, and then you see this dude coming out. It looks like a professional trainer or something, going in with a bunch of equipment and setting up the tripods. And I'm like, wow, you are really suffering. Wow,
you
you
know.
know.
I used to watch some of these like this was like years ago. There was this girl, white girl, and she was like same thing you said. She was like living out of her car, but she had her channel. It actually had a lot of subscribers. It had like over 100,000, and she was living in her like she had like a little fucking Toyota Yaris. It's even
Uh
smaller than
huh.
a Corolla, and apparently she would say she lives in a she would like move around different places. She like some nights she would sleep in her car in like the Walmart parking lot. And I'm thinking like when you look at this girl, she was like, I mean, she wasn't like fucking like Cindy Crawford, but she was still a very pretty girl. And I'm thinking in my head like, I mean, fuck, instead of making these fucking YouTube videos and trying to, why don't you just fucking make an OnlyFans? You're pretty good looking chick.
Exactly.
You don't have to go naked, but you can fucking do some like, some sexy lingerie in your car driving around. I'm sure there's some guys who will pay to see that. You know?
But some of them got exposed.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
they would buy these shitty cars or like these shitty little used vans from U-Haul or like a school little minibus used, right? They would buy it and then they would transform it into this like a living place,
Yeah.
right? But they would only do that while they're filming it. But when they're not filming it, they would go to a hotel, they would go to their home, right? They would spend the night like a 5-star hotel or some shit, like a Holiday Inn or Hilton or whatever, right? And some
Yeah.
of them they got caught that they were
Oh yeah,
lying.
yeah.
But see, that's the trickery about the YouTube. I was just talking about this not too long ago. A lot of people don't see what happens behind the scenes. They only see what they see when the product is finished, right? And they upload this fancy video. Everything's glossy. Everything's beautiful, right? Everything's nicely scripted. and everybody's like, wow, man, I'm gonna go in my van right now. I'm gonna go in my car and I'm gonna travel. Dude, go and try it and you'll see how inconvenient it is. First of all, you're gonna need a lot of money. Okay. Number two, you're not gonna be able to spend living in a little shitty car, sleeping. You know how uncomfortable it is, dude,
Yeah,
to sleep inside a car, especially with this heat. So the problem with these videos is, first of all, hey, it's expensive to build a van that has all of these elements inside. To has the shower room, to have the air conditioning built inside, to have the bed inside, the television, a refrigerator. All of that costs money to build that, right? And no one seems to ask, well, wait a minute, all of this cost money. It wasn't cheap, right? To get the generator and all the what you call it. Some of them they're using a solar panels and whatnot. All of that costs money. And then a Starlink, right? Starlink,
yeah,
it's expensive. That shit is super. That's a $500 a month. That shit is expensive. That's like the basic version. If you want the full coverage, you're looking 700 a month. I looked into the whole, and then you have to wait. There's like a 6 months waiting period of some shit, bro. It takes a long
yeah,
time till you get selected. So there's a lot of stuff that people don't understand. Like when they watch these videos, you gotta have money to do this.
yeah.
And none of them realize when they're watching this video, dude, this chick is so hot. She's so pretty. How she's so pretty? Like, you think how where does she take a shower? What does she do? Like, you know, does she really goes to like one of those truckers, shitty ass truckers, one stop, whatever, rest areas, with some shitty ass shower room out there where a bunch of like how horny truckers are? I don't think so, right? People are not asking themselves a logical question. Do you really think that these hot, beautiful chicks would put themselves at that risk? No, it's all edited and tricked to make you
Yeah.
think that they're really doing that. And it blows my mind how many idiots there are when you read the comments. It's like George Carlin says, I love this country, but my God, we got some dumb motherfuckers floating around in this country, dude. Just read the fucking
Well,
comments, bro.
people believe anything, right? The sad people will
Yeah,
believe a sad story, and if you're a good con man or a good con woman,
yeah.
you can exploit that. I
Well,
just
speaking
I
of
just
great con man, one of the greatest preachers of all time.
yeah. I just seen some woman in New York City, and she's complaining. Well, apparently, what happened was that two 10-year-old kids,
uh,
they pretended that they were lost, right? And then they went up to the woman, and this is not like an old woman. She was like in her late 30s, right? And
mhm.
they basically told her, oh, they were 10-year-old kids, right? But like I said, kids nowadays are pretty smart. They're not stupid. So so what they did was they asked her, oh, can I use your phone? I want to call my parents. We're lost. We're lost. So the woman was scared and she was panicking. So she gave them the phone so that they can call their parents. And what did the kid do? They transferred $10,000 of her money into an account that they had set up prior, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
so they basically used
That's a
her.
lot of money, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, these kids are like, think about it, like they're savvy because I guess she has her account on her phone or whatever,
Yeah. For
and
them, that's a lot of money, dude. Like 10 grand. It's like big deal.
yeah, so they went into so these are two 10-year-old kids. So this is like a little scam that they were doing on her. That they were pretending that they were lost or whatever. And then she was like, what I call like, she was like, oh my God, I gotta help these kids, But these kids, they were pulling a fast one on her, and she gave them her phone. And I'm sure they tried this on many people, but she was probably one of those people that had her account like automatically unlocked on the phone. You don't have to put the password in, whatever. And they already had like they were showing it on the news, like these kids had already created like a dummy account, and then they just transferred 10,000 from her account into this account,
Jeez.
and she didn't realize it till afterwards, right? And now
Wow.
she's basically
When it was too
trying
late.
to get,
Yeah.
yeah, trying to get her money back. But that's what I tell people, right? If it's nowadays, people who have a nice heart and they're kind, they usually get easily manipulated. You know what I mean? Because everybody
It's
nowadays
so,
wants a scam.
Yeah, and it's so interesting you mentioned this, and it just makes you realize how easy it is because recently I was watching this retired. He goes by some fake name, not a real name. Retired CIA agent, and he was on this podcast and he was talking about what it was like for him to be in the CIA. Obviously, he cannot talk about certain classified operations that he did, but he did say something like, what we are basically, he said, we are like the great con artists. And he says con means confidence. What does this mean? That means, okay, tomorrow I want to be Bill, and tomorrow I'm going to be Bill from whatever 8 o'clock till 6 o'clock, and then I'll be myself. And then the next day, whatever mission I have, I'm going to be Hernandez, and I'm going to be Hernandez for whatever 9 hours. So that's basically what it requires of you to be a good field CIA agent, to to be convincing and to be consistent, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be very consistent. And another thing that this guy said is their best friends. All of these CIA agents, they said their best friends were criminals because the criminals understood them. Like they know, like, hey, do this for me. I need this done. I'll get this for you. If you do this, we'll split it, whatever. And he said the criminals were like the best friends they had. That's what this guy said. But that's what the CIA, that's what the details working undercover, And it's so easy. The reason I bring this up because it's so easy to manipulate people, to
It is.
make people believe.
It is.
It's unbelievable how many con artists. It's called confidence. That's what conning means. Confidence. You are confident that you can con somebody today. And people bullshit all the time. There's a lot of con artists. Believe me, they're everywhere. It's just some are good, some are really good, and some are really, really bad.
Yeah.
And it is so easy to manipulate people. That's why
I
people
I think it
don't
has a lot
realize
to
that.
do. I think the people who get manipulated are usually people who are not exposed to life, the streets, the way the hustle works. I find like if you're a guy or a girl and you grew up in like the ghetto, you grew up on
Yeah,
the streets, you grew up hustling, you grew up, in bad neighborhoods, you usually have a different personality. You're usually more wiser to these things. But if you're a person who's never been exposed to life, to hardship, to what it's like, in the streets, to what it's like in a
yeah.
certain group, you're more easily like
Vulnerable,
manipulated.
vulnerable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like if
manipulator,
you,
vulnerable.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
easy. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to use like I don't want to try to say these like if you're like nice church person, raised
Oh,
properly.
easily, easily,
Yeah,
vulnerable,
exactly. Like
easily.
there's
Yeah,
this there's this girl that I know,
easy.
Gina. She is
Yeah,
like an easy mark. Like I always tell her, like you're so
yeah,
gullible. Like you believe anything because people tell you a sad story. It's no wonder guys use you. It's no wonder that it's no wonder that nothing goes your way because you believe it. Like I tell her, like if I wanted to, I could manipulate you easily because I can be a great con man because I have the personality for it, and I'll believe the lie even though
yeah.
it's not true, and you'll believe it. But
Consistency.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
consistent. Yeah,
yeah,
to
yeah,
your lies that she's
yeah.
gonna believe it.
But if I
Yeah, just
tell
like
this,
those kids did to that poor
yeah,
woman.
but I
Yeah,
tell
when
her,
she was
but if I
convinced.
but if I do the same con to my friend Ricardo, he's not gonna believe it because to him everything in life is bullshit. So
He knows
he's
it.
yeah, so he's gonna be more likely to not be taken in by a scam. But you, I could come in here, especially if I didn't know, even if I didn't know you, because you're a nice person, because you're so religious and you believe in God and all these things like that, I can give you a good little scam. That my buddy or my friend's girlfriend who grew up on the streets, if I tell it to her, she'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here, you bullshit artist," you know. But you'll believe it, like
Yeah,
because it's just because of your upbringing. It's because of because you haven't experienced shit in life. It's
exactly.
like I see people tell me like they watch these videos where they'll see a guy, he's gonna make a YouTube or Instagram video or TikTok video where he's walking into the gas station and he sees a homeless guy and he's like, "Oh my god, there's a homeless guy," and he buys him like fucking $50 worth of like fucking chips and Pepsi, and he's giving the kid and he's giving the homeless guy like $20. He's like, "Here," and then you see all these. these simp people. They're like, oh my god, this YouTuber is so nice. Look at what he did. No, he didn't. He gave the guy $50, knowing that all of you suckers are gonna watch his fucking YouTube
A
his
click.
video, and he's gonna make like fucking $10,000 off this video.
Exactly.
And I tell them, and I tell them, think about it. If you're fucking homeless, okay, if you're a homeless person, you're already, in your mind, you're already at the bottom of the food chain, right? You probably feel degraded. You probably feel embarrassed. The last thing that you want is some fucking guy coming and fucking filming you when you're fucking
Exactly.
homeless and putting you so the whole fucking world can see it. And he's gonna give you fucking a bag of chips, a fucking half fucking a Coke can and $20 bill, and he's gonna expose that you're fucking homeless to everybody.
And
And
that's the crazy thing that people don't see that. Like there's a majority of people that they don't see that. Like when you read the comments,
yeah,
like
yeah,
why film it? Like if you are truly
yeah,
giving
exactly,
something to somebody or helping somebody, why you have to document it? If you're gonna
exactly,
help somebody, then help somebody. But why you have to
yeah,
document it?
exactly,
You know?
exactly. That's what I tell people. It's like,
Yeah,
and people don't get that. I'm like, how stupid are you? Do you think he's really doing this because of the? He's doing this because he knows
exactly.
his entire audience, his entire 200,000 subscribers are idiots like you who believe this, right?
Yeah,
If he was really like, think about it. When's the last time you did something good for someone? Did you fucking pull out your camera and film it and say, okay, hold on, before I do the good deed, let me film it? No. The only reason he's doing it is because he knows he's gonna put that video up there, and he's gonna make 100 times more than that $50 that he gave this fucking that he gave this person. So they're not doing it. If anything, they're making a mockery out of the homeless person who's already struggling to meet ends meet and living on the streets, and they're gonna go fucking film it and put it on Instagram, TikTok, and then the
that
video is gonna
reminds
go.
me. YouTube, Cameron. YouTube is like a safe. It's like a heaven for con artists.
Oh yeah, for
Honestly, it's
sure.
like a heaven. It's like a capital heaven for con artists. It is because it's so easy, dude. Like you see all these people saying, I like to be out in the nature, off the grid, right? And there's this one guy. I forgot his name. He's somewhere out there in Sweden, whatever, in one of the Viking places, Netherlands or Norway. I'm sorry, Norway, out in Norway, right? And no, don't get me wrong. I like the guy, but I also know that he's a bullshitter. Okay, I know that he's a con artist,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
he's a professional con artist. He knows how to talk. He knows which words to use, and his words sounds really good with that little background Viking music that he's playing. And then it has a catchy tune to it, and people are leaning towards it like, my god, this guy's so right. And at the end he says, make sure you guys purchase my books. Here's the link down below.
Yeah,
I'm publishing 2 more books this holiday. Go and help me out. you know and then you see him like in living in a big house, then you see him on a boat, and you're like, well, this guy's fucking living large.
yeah,
But that's the thing that people don't see that, and they're spending money like crazy, right? Buying his books, giving him the money. I'm sure the guy's live right now. And again, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to, shit on the guy because I like the guy, but I know that he's a bullshitter.
and you
Okay,
know what?
and he's a good bullshitter, a
And
good
to me,
bullshitter.
these con artists and con women, I don't have nothing against them. I think if you can do it and get away with it, as long as you're not hurting anybody, killing anybody, whatever,
Yeah,
and people want to give you money because they believe you're scam. Hey,
yeah.
they might be an idiot, but I don't like hate your hustle. Like if you watch Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, to me that's like Better Call Saul. He was like the con man, lawyer.
The best though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So to me, if you can do it and get away with it, hey, no problem with me. But if you want to be a sucker and like it's like Kenneth Copeland. I don't hate Kenneth Copeland's scam,
I
right?
admire
Yeah,
the guy, dude.
yeah,
I wish I could be like
if you
him.
can, yeah, I wish I could be even like the other guy, Joel Austin, the other fucking
The guy's living large,
priest.
dude. Like,
I know the
look
guy.
how he
He's
live.
got like
Huge, big
350.
jumbo
Yeah,
jets he's got.
he's got like 350 million because he's conning Christians and Catholics to believing him. I don't fucking hate the guy. I think, you know what? I wish I could do that. You know, like I
Yeah,
said, but if you want to be conned and you want to pay into it because you believe what they're saying, hey, nothing wrong with that. It's a free country. He's not fucking. sticking a gun to your head and telling you to give him the fucking money or whatever. If you want to believe his con and he wants to, tell you some, he probably these guys, like when I watch Joel Austin, he probably speaks perfect English, but he's using that nice country Southern boy accent. Praise the Lord Jesus, and people believe him. If you want to believe him, then you believe him. And but
The reason I admire these con artists, it's because they're really smart, man.
yeah,
They're really intelligent. This is what, again, I know it's what they're doing. Look, they're trying to survive. I know it's shitty, it's shady, but it's a survival of the fittest, okay? They didn't create this world. They just happen to live in it. I get it. People say, but they have no principles. Well, fuck the principles. When you're out on the
yeah,
fucking street and you got nothing to eat and you can't feed your kids, fuck the principle, right? So what I admire about these con artists is that they're so intelligent and smart. Now, some of them are really, really good. Like they
yeah,
know how to talk to you, they know how to manipulate you, they know what to say to you, they listen to you, and then they tell you what you want to hear, and they say it to you convincingly, right? With the eyes and the body language and everything. And some of them are really, really good, man. And I admire that shit. And Kenneth Copeland's definitely on that level for sure,
oh yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing it right. You can't, you
The
got to
guy's
admire
living
him.
large.
Yeah,
The guy's living
and
large.
yeah, and like I said, he's not fucking robbing anybody. He's not hurting
No.
anybody.
Yeah.
He's telling a lie, and if you want to believe it, then you want to
He
buy
knows how to
into it.
play the game. Look,
Yeah,
man, I tell people, don't be jealous just because you don't know how to play a game. He
yeah,
figured it out. He knows how to play it and he plays it well. It is what it is. Some are good at it, some are not. Some they just don't have what it takes. Does it take a risk? Yes. Everything you do in life, it's a risk. Now, you don't want to take unnecessary risk.
yeah,
Sure, granted, but there's always risk involved. Oh, this might not work. That might not work. A and B plan might fail. Da 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 da. Right? But they always regroup. That's the thing about these con artists. They're always able to regroup and continue. Like they come back like a cockroaches. They come back from the hole, to see if the coast is clear, and they start regrouping and thinking, what can I do next to con something different, to move on to something different. And it's interesting, man. And people don't realize there's a lot of con artists, more than people think, more than you think. Some of them are just good. They're so good, like hiding it, and you can't see it, right? They're so good, so professional that you can never see it, unless you're like really good, like that person, to kind of spot it. But they're really good, man. And that's what's going on a lot everywhere, man. That bank teller, he's conning you too. He wants you to sign up for some credit so he can charge you whatever 10% interest rate or some shit. Or that guy selling you a fucking car, or that guy with an open house trying to sell you some house that's not worth that much, right?
yeah,
Uh, that's all conning. That's all con artistry. You know, some people might call it bullshit artistry. We'll call it what you want, but that's what it is. It's the same fucking shit. And some are very successful, some are not. Who are the ones that are so successful? The one they know how to talk.
yep,
Like they have that swagger. You have to have the looks. Definitely helps. Being a hot chick, fucking A definitely helps. Looking like a Brad Pitt, sure, definitely gonna help. Looking like Tom Cruise and talking smooth, definitely gonna help. So all of these elements will help. Or looking like George Clooney and talking like George Clooney, definitely gonna help as well. So there's that confidence. You ever saw the movie Confidence with Ed Burns and Dustin Hoffman? That's pretty much what it's all about, man. It's about conning. How good are you of a con artist to con somebody? That
you have to
means
believe the lie too.
confidence. Yeah.
You have to
Meaning you
believe
have to be confident and consistent. You have to have a consistency in your confidence that you can deliver and make it happen. And some people, they can't do it because they get tired. Like you got to be able to be this guy, Bill, for about 6 months. And you have to be consistent. I mean, I don't want to say method acting, maybe you don't want to go that far because that can fuck you up psychologically, but you got to be this Bill guy. You got to be able to turn them off and on, right? To turn that switch off and on. You got to be this Bill guy. Whatever, Bill or Higgity Jiggy, whatever name you fucking want to call it,
yeah. for sure.
So you have to be convincing, and people are gonna if people believe you that you are Bill, that's it. Nothing can change that. You're Bill. Like I could tell people my first name all the time, but people are always gonna remember me as Mr. 4K because that's it. I have convinced them I'm Mr. 4K because that's it. I am Mr. 4K. Is that confidence? Yeah, it's that confidence, right? It's that confidence to convince somebody that you are this other thing that you normally are not. You know, and people are doing it all the time, Cameron. It's just people just don't realize it. You know, they don't realize it. But even when you go to grocery stores, you're always being conned. Would you like to sign up for this? We offer great deal on these shirts right here. They're 100% cotton, and they just came in from Bahamas. They're beautiful. I can get you a deal on these right now for 10%. Now, if you buy three more, I can get you even 20%. But if you sign up for our membership, lifetime membership, I can get you discount on every single one of them from now till Christmas. So just sign right here, right? Those are like use all the time, right? Everywhere you go, especially in Vegas. Jesus H Christ! When I went to the Vegas Strip, walking down with my ex girlfriend Victoria, bro, the flyers, handing out the flyers, dude. Somebody would always try to con us. We can get you this deal on this, and that. Where you guys staying tonight? We can get you a limo. Are you guys celebrating somebody's, whatever birthday or something here? We can get you this, and that. There's a constant hustle. Someone's hustling constantly. That's conning. That's what that is. Hustle, it's con. I mean, you're having a confidence that tonight hustle is going to be great. You know, and I know people don't want to hear this. And I know people are right now watching this and they're thinking, wow, these guys are supporting con artistry. Dude, that's the way of life. I
Yeah.
hate to break it to you. I hate to be this guy to tell you this, but that's the way it is. I'm sorry. I didn't create this world. Me and Cameron, right? Me and you, we didn't create this world. We just happen to live in it. But that's pretty much the way it is. You got to play that game. It's either you play that game or you're going to be out on the street
Or you get played.
or you get played with nothing, starving to death.
There's
You
like
don't want to be in that position.
a lot of these cons and scams that are happening right now. I mean, the scams are evolving because now we're getting more into like, cell phones but I see a lot of these scams that are happening. I tell people like in my mind, I think like like most of these people who are getting caught, it's like they got to be idiots. The people who are falling for this. And like the biggest scam I see people with people nowadays is like there's even a YouTube channel with a guy. He's got like fucking 5 million subscribers where he's like a hacker and he goes after these like scam artists in India and all over the world. You probably see him, right? So his channel is like like these like they have these
Oh, yeah,
Indian
yeah, yeah. I
telemarketers.
remember it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a white guy. He's got like fucking 4 or 5 million subscribers now, and basically he's a hacker.
That guy's huge, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a huge
yeah,
followers. Yeah.
and he goes after these Indian and Chinese and like Russian telemarketers who like they call you and then they get your information and they lock up your computer and then your computer tells you, oh, your computer has a virus, if you want to fix it call this number, whatever, right? So, and it's the same thing when I hear people telling me, oh, my Facebook got hacked, oh, or this got, and I hear like family members of people telling me, oh, I got like a text message from my bank, and then
Yeah, yeah,
on my
yeah.
cell phone, and then
SunTrust. Usually it's a SunTrust. Yeah.
yeah, and I tell
Or
them like
Western
how,
Union.
yeah, like I tell them like how
Yeah.
stupid are you? Like first of all, your bank is never gonna send you a fucking text message. Why? When the fuck would your bank ever have your cell phone number to begin with, right? Or
Exactly.
or like people will get a phone call and they'll be like, they don't like it'll say, oh, it's the IRS. We are looking for such and such. Please give
Usually
us a
they
call
send
back.
you a letter.
Yeah, like you have to be a dumb motherfucker to fall for these things, or you have to be like some 80, 90-year old senior citizen and you don't know any wiser, but if you're like a person between the age of like fucking 18 to like to me like 60, 65, and
Yeah.
and you fall for one of these uh, scams, you deserve to get it because you're like, my friends tell me, well, what if they call you? I'm like, how the fuck are they gonna call me? Do you think the bank has my fucking phone number? No, I never gave them my phone number. Okay.
Common sense, man. Yeah, just a
Yeah,
common sense.
right.
That's all it takes. Yeah.
Or like or like they'll get or like somebody or like, what's even worse is people on Facebook when they they play all these different funny games. They're playing all these games, these Russian roulette on Facebook, or like tell me your horoscope. And I tell people, when you give that information, you're giving Facebook and the company who made that game the entire ability to look at your phone's contacts, your phone
Everything.
history. They have everything about you, and you're playing that fucking game, and then you're wondering how you got fucking hacked, right?
Yeah.
Or how your Facebook account was cloned. Is because you gave them access to this. They don't even realize these things. Like, why are you giving all this information?
Yeah.
So
Small
usually,
little things. How about
yeah,
like accept all cookies, or to sign up you need to give me your credit card.
like if you're gonna be
Yeah.
that dumb and fall for it, then you deserve to
You deserve
you
what's
deserve to
coming
be
to you,
whatever. Yeah,
man. Yeah. No one should feel sorry for you because you're dumb. Because you don't need you. All you need is a common sense. All right.
yeah,
What's the common sense? Why the fuck should I give somebody my credit card to sign up for free? Fuck that. That's number one. Number two, why do you need to accept all cookies? Fuck that site. Going to a website that doesn't have that shit. And there's websites that don't require you to accept cookies and they don't require you to give your credit card. I don't know how people cannot see those red flags. Like,
yeah.
dude, they're like so obvious, dude. So
Exactly,
obvious.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 So, like to me, that's why I say it's people who are usually not computer savvy, or they're not really
Gullible.
smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good word. Yeah, they're gullible.
Gullible.
So what can I say? There's always going to be people like that, and the smarter people are always going to take advantage of them. So that's just how it is. Or like, or you'll see this, like before in the old days, you would hear the ones where it would tell you, oh, you want a free vacation to the Bahamas, please call this number. And then and there's idiots who would fall for that, and they would call the number, and it'd be like, okay, you need to give us your credit card so we can hold your deposit, we can hold your reservation. you know
It's unbelievable. Oh, Dominic, yeah, I just sent you the link. So if you want to hop in on a lazy Sunday, hop in, brother. We're gonna switch the gears to the movies right now. It's gonna be a good one.
I saw you were I saw you were playing the Xbox games, some old games from
Oh
Xbox.
God, it was yeah. I was playing Quake, and it
Yeah,
reminded me. But honestly, really, there's nothing. I swear to you, Cameron. Uh, I tried. I really, really, really tried today. There's nothing. There's
yeah,
absolutely nothing on the Xbox. I swear to God, there's absolutely nothing. The only thing I found was Quake, but I can
mm,
play Quake, on the PC or whatever. But that was the only thing that I found. But there was absolutely nothing, man, on that Game Pass. I'm sorry, all my Xbox fans. Sorry, don't blame me. Blame freaking whatever, Phil Spencer. There's nothing there. I really, if you watch the live stream, Cameron, I really, really, really tried. When I go to PlayStation, there's Lost Planet 3. There's a bunch of other games. All these old school PlayStation 3 games. There's stuff for me to play. Here, 2 Point Campus, dude. I don't know if you watched that. I turned that fucking thing off right away,
yeah.
dude. I couldn't even make it past the intro. So fuck this shit. I almost turned into Tony Montana. I'm gonna go, fuck, man. I'm not playing this fucking thing, man. And I left. And look, you have Xbox. I have Xbox. But you gotta give me a reason. Guys, fellas, ladies, gotta give me a reason to turn that fucking thing on. Flight Simulator is the only, okay. Flight Simulator. That's it. Cameron, that's about it. Flight Simulator. I don't know what else. You know. If there's something else, please help me out here, brother.
Well, maybe at the end of 2023 when they get the what is it, Starfield?
Oh, never. That shit will never come out.
Yeah,
What about Hellblade? Where is the Hellblade, man? You think we would have Hellblade? Sensua. What's her name?
I know what.
Senua story. When is that should be coming out? When? Never. I mean, there's nothing this year. This is so sad. That's why all the Xbox fanboys they start shitting on my Twitter with the F words. Calling me
They're
this. Yeah.
secretly in line to get a PlayStation now. They're like, fuck it, we gotta
Yeah.
join.
And dude, I tell them I have Xbox. You have Xbox. Dude, we have it. But
Yeah,
there's
day one.
nothing. And I swear to you, I really, if you ever watched that live stream that I did today, I really, for like a couple of hours, I really, really tried. And there's just nothing there, camera. I spend most of the time just scrolling, like going back and forth.
Yeah.
There was that NHL '94 game that I kind of enjoy a little bit, but that's about it. That old school NHL '94. So that was kind of cool. But other than that, I switched to the tennis game. The match point sucked. Then I went to this other game, Road 96. It was like, kind of boring. Ask this guy this question. What is like? I'm paid to do, like I'm working for free or something. Like doing a free work. Ask this guy for direction. Ask this guy for this. Like, what the fuck is this game?
Yeah, I didn't buy
So
my
there was like
Xbox.
nothing.
I didn't buy my Series X to play shitty games like Campus 2. Like that's I want to play. I want to play like big budget games.
No, you said something to me that I'll never forget, and you're absolutely 100% right about this. It took me a while to realize it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Yeah.
And that shit rings in my head now more than ever, dude. That's what Sony's about. Quality. Fuck the quantity.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't even give a fuck if the game is free or not. I'll buy the game if it's good. That's why
Yeah.
I don't care if the game is on Xbox and I have to pay for it full price. I'll buy it. I don't care. I don't if the game is that good and you can't put it on Game Pass because you have to make your money, I'm okay with that because that's what Sony's doing, and I'm okay with that because I rather have a quality game than have like a shitty a shitty third party game that's not even that good that I'm only gonna like you said you're gonna turn it on, you're gonna play it for 1 hour. No, I want to put on a game that I'll play it for fucking 2, 3, 400 hours. And
yeah, look at the value that you got from The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima. I mean, that's endless value. Yeah.
Right.
Worth every penny.
So like I don't have, and I'm not a rich guy. I don't have a problem buying the game. So it's not like maybe Xbox is like, well, maybe in their mind they're like, well, we spent 70 billion, but we still have to, we can't spend too much money on making good games because we're gonna put them for free. Fuck that. I'll buy
70 billion, man. Think about that, Cameron. Holy mother of God. That the kind of cash they're throwing out. I mean, Top Gun Maverick just made 2 billion. They're like, oh wow. But these guys wasted 70 billion. Do you know what the kind of fucking games I would produce with that kind of fucking money? The kind of actors I would hire? Oh, God.
With the amount of money that they spent to buy that Activision. And now I heard Activision is not even doing that good. But all the money
they got fucked over, man. They got conned.
There's no way
Microsoft got conned.
like there's no way that they're going to be able to make that many great games to make back $70 billion, right? It's not going to happen.
No way. No way. And Activision is not that stupid. Come on. And Bethesda's not that stupid either. Come on.
I mean, maybe Sony, maybe Xbox did it to say, hey, look at us. We got we got the power to buy the companies, but PlayStation, I guess that's why I always tell people, PlayStation is always quality. It was always quality first. That's all they care about. We give you a great story, we give you great gameplay, and most of all, we give you an experience that you're going to remember forever. We don't give a fuck about giving you the best resolution and the highest fucking frame rate and all this teraflop bullshit. We want you, when you play our game, and when you finish that game, you're gonna go home and be like, you fucking blown away, like you just watched fucking Lord of the Rings, or you just.
It's so funny. I was talking to my brother not too long ago, and then he says, good old times before he got married and kids and all that, and he says, hey brother, remember when we played that game, Metal Gear? Metal Gear Solid. The tactical espionage action game that came out in '98. I says, my brother says, that always remind me of you. And I said, well, brother, that reminds me of you too. We had such a great experience playing that game in '98. It was such a great experience, and I'll never forget that fucking game. You know what I mean, Cameron?
Yeah,
That's something that's worth every penny, dude. Worth
it
every
is.
penny.
It is. It is.
You know.
Right. And every game I've played from Sony that I've been playing lately, that's like when I see my friends, I tell them like, "Holy fuck, you played this? Like, I didn't know this game was that great." And it's like an entire experience. Even when I did God of War, the 2018, and I finally played it, after everybody, I was telling everybody, I was telling my friends, man, this game is like a fucking masterpiece. Like, this is incredible. Like, and every
Oh
game,
yeah, The Last of Us Part Two, man. Let
yeah,
me tell you, after I finished that, after 2 weeks, I had a hard time, dude, like adjusting to real life. I've been thinking about Abby. I've been thinking about Ellie, dude.
yeah,
The unbelievable impact that the fucking game had on me, dude. Unbelievable experience, you know,
yeah.
shocking and everything, like unbelievable.
The way
That's
they
the
held down,
experience.
the way
Yeah.
they held down Joel, and they make him say his
Oh
last
God,
word,
dude. Oh,
and then they
oh.
blow him,
I
but then
still
they,
have flashbacks of
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit, man. Oh, and it's tough to watch. It's hard, but that's the thing. It is hard, but that's the experience. You know,
yeah.
that's that. You know, it's just you never forget it, man. And I still remember, like even the days gone.
What's up, Mitch?
Uh,
Yeah.
hey, what's up, Mitch? And Dominic, welcome, brother.
Oh yeah, even Days Gone. I just did that too. The platinum about a month ago. That game is like fucking incredible too. The music, everything, like the story. I even fucking downloaded one of the songs that they use in the game, and I listen to it on my car all the time. It's wicked, and
Da, 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 da. It's such a great song. Yeah, yeah, it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
That
There's
that
like
that like yeah, old school country. Yeah, that biker. It's so good, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I know
and
which one it is.
but the way they did the entire story, the way that they use the actors, everything. Sony is great at storytelling. Fuck, I don't give a fuck about having the highest resolution, highest frame rate. I rather have that experience that Sony is giving me. That's me, how I am.
Yeah.
I don't fucking think about what's the last resolution I played Spider-Man at, and how much frame rate, or did it have, or when was it really showing me ray tracing. I never think about that. What I think about is the experience I had with the game, like making those fucking YouTube videos, uh, um, you know, uh, playing the game on the ultimate mode, learning how to do the combat. Like that's the shit I remember about the game. I don't remember about the fucking resolution I used, whatever. I don't think about that stuff. I think about how the
Yeah, it's
great
the
experience I had.
experience, man. It's the
Yeah,
experience. And then again, you know, that's what we want. And I think Sony was able to translate the movie experience, which Sony, it's a obviously Columbia Pictures, and also it's a record label company. They produce movies and music in Hollywood and around the world. So they're not strangers to movies and TV shows. So Sony was able to translate a movie experience onto the gaming console, onto the video games, and they changed everything forever, man. Truly, they changed that with Resident Evil, with Metal Gear,
yeah,
with the Parasite Eve, with all of these games. And that's why I want to switch gears now to the movies.
yeah,
Did you hear this story about the Cineworld and all these movie theaters
yeah, yeah, yeah.
closing?
Yeah, it's
Is it shocking? Come
Cineworld.
on, it shouldn't be shocking, dude.
Cineworld is it's mostly in the UK, United Kingdom, right? Because we don't have that here in Canada, I don't think.
Yeah,
When I looked at it, it's pretty much UK Cineworld, right? But yeah,
yeah.
it's not surprising. I'm surprised this didn't happen a long time ago, because I
Hmm.
especially during the 2.5 years where there was like a lockdown. I'm surprised that
Yeah,
the cinemas didn't go bust from then. Even now that the cinemas have reopened here in Canada too, I don't really hear people telling me they're going to the cinemas. I think most people have just gotten used to like streaming it. Like if it's a Disney movie, they're like, oh, I'll fucking wait till it comes on Disney Plus. That way, I can spend one money and the whole family can watch it. You know, that's
yeah.
and even me, I'll be honest, I didn't go watch Top Gun because because I know I'm gonna download the 4K version when it comes out, right? Because that's how I am. I personally enjoy the movie watching it at home on my 65-inch TV. Yeah, it's not a monster home theater screen, but yeah, but I'll sacrifice that for the comfort of my house. Like I can pause the
It's still
movie.
a pretty good size, though. Yeah,
Yeah, I can pause the movie. I can go upstairs, make myself a coffee like I just did. I can come back
yeah.
down here and watch it. And that's and I don't have to worry about like driving home
Convenience. It's
after. Yeah,
convenient.
I don't have
Yeah,
to worry about
that's what
driving
it's
home
about.
after. And yeah, I have my nice little basement. Everything is comfortable here, and I can have my food with me. So to me, it's way more. But when I was younger, yeah, I would go to the cinema because we didn't have these options like we have now for movies.
Well, that was old, good old days. That was long
Yeah,
time ago.
yeah,
But
yeah.
honestly, I said somebody, I think somebody I was talking to, me and Moses and his friends, they were at the pool hanging out, and we were talking about the movies and Top Gun and all that. It just reached close to 2 billion, almost 2 billion,
Yeah.
1.6. And I said to Moses, and I said to my other friends who were there, and his friends, I said, look, Top Gun, that comes once in 36 years. Avatar comes in once in what, 15 years?
But
Listen,
here,
they're not enough. I said,
oh,
yes, sure. It's going to be a great experience watching Top Gun Maverick on an IMAX, watching Avatar on an IMAX 3D, but it's not enough. It's not
but
enough
here's the
to
thing.
keep the movie theater going.
Like when Top Gun came out, there's no other real big budget movie to compete with it. So it's gonna get all the views. But
Exactly.
aside from that though, if Paramount would have said, "Listen, we're gonna release Top Gun in the cinema, but we're also gonna release it day one on Paramount Plus." So if you have
Oh,
Paramount
forget
Plus,
it. Forget it.
yeah, if you have Paramount Plus, you can pay an extra $20 and you can watch the movie day one too. I guarantee you, if they did that, the movie would have made a lot of money streaming. It wouldn't have made as much money on the cinema part alone. It's because right now you have no option. If you want to watch the movie, you have to go to
You
the
got to
cinema,
go. Yeah,
right?
to the
But
theater.
if they gave you the option, like if Avatar comes out and they say, okay, you know what, day one you're going to be able to spend 20, $30 and watch it on Disney. I guarantee you it's going to make a lot of money on Disney Plus versus people going to the cinema, because every parent is going to be like, you know what, the whole family can watch it now, right? But if they don't give you a choice, then yeah, for sure, I'm not surprised that the movie made so much money, because you don't have a choice. You have to go to the cinema. And let's be realistic, there's no other big budget movie to compete with Top Gun. What is it, like some shitty other little shitty movie that nobody ever heard of, maybe going into cinema? But Top Gun is probably the biggest movie of the summer, or the biggest
Oh,
movie in the
yeah, by
last six
far.
months to come
By
out,
far.
right? So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
to me, it's expected that the movie did this great. But another thing I want to say too about Top Gun is that there's no politics in the movie. There's no religion. There's no gender in the
Yes.
movie. Like, what are you, gay? Are you transgender? None of that shit in there. It's just great action, great
Adrenaline, man.
action. Yeah, everything that were the great makings of a movie from the 80s and 90s. Great action, great storytelling, great directing, and something that's fun. They didn't need to put in a gay character. They didn't need to you know to bring in like fucking Tom Cruise is fucking religious, so he's a fucking Christian Catholic. They didn't put that shit in there. They didn't put in there his political views or whatever. None of that shit. They kept it straight like the 80s. Same thing with the classic movies that made Arnold Schwarzenegger movies great. Give me what I want to see. Great acting, special effects, make shit go boom, a shitload of action, and a
Oh, believe
believable
me.
story. And that's what makes it
Believe me,
great.
brother.
And you know what?
The only, the, yeah, the only thing I can say about the movie, I'm not going to spoil it. It's like an adrenaline porn. Honestly, it's like a jet fighter porn. It really, dude. I swear to God, I almost had like an erection of a testosterone. That's how fucking cool it was. It was just fucking badass. And I'm like, man, this is fucking awesome. I feel like some adrenaline badass motherfucker, even though I'm not flying the plane, but it was so like manly. It was so like badass. There was none of that cheesiness. There's a little bit of romance, but it was done well. It was more like a comedic romance between him and Jennifer Connelly. But my God, she looks freaking hot in that movie. So,
I
and
think
then
she looks better
Phoenix.
now.
Oh
I
my
think she
God,
looks. I think
Phoenix.
she looks better
Oh
now
my
too.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix. I'm not gonna talk too much about Phoenix, but my God, I have a crush on that one,
I'll be
Phoenix.
honest. I prefer Jen. I prefer what's her name? What's the other girl? What the fuck? Not Phoenix. What's
Kelly
the other girl?
McGillis. Which one?
No, no.
Uh,
Hold on.
uh, that one that wasn't a Top Gun.
Yeah, yeah. Top Gun. Hold on a sec.
Oh, Meg Ryan.
No, no. Jennifer Connelly. I prefer her than Phoenix, even though she's older. I like her much
Yeah,
better. Like her looks turn me on way more than the
yeah,
other
yeah.
girl.
Yeah, but I
But
don't. It's something of Phoenix. She's like a like a tomboy girl. It's like she's just like one of the guys, like the best
yeah,
girlfriend you can have. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I could hang out with this fucking chick any day, anytime. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I kind of felt like that. And then Hangman. Oh my god, dude, I don't want to spoil the movie, but you're gonna love this fucking movie, uh, for sure. Can't wait for you guys to see it. It's a feel good movie. You're gonna feel adrenaline. You're gonna feel pumped, like you're ready to go to gym, like boost of testosterone. Like it's just gonna feel fucking great. And this is what people were yearning for. Tom Cruise knew exactly what we were yearning for, and that's why he said either hey, I'm gonna do it right, or I'm not gonna do it at all. And thank God that there's somebody like him who gets it. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't care about the whole Scientology shit, whatever. I'm simply saying the guy knows what we want and he
yeah.
delivers. So love or hate Tom Cruise, I don't care. The guy delivers. Whether he plays a hitman in Collateral or the samurai, right? The guy knows how to act. He delivers. Whether
He's
it's
the last.
Minority Report,
He's the
War of
last
the
action
Worlds,
hero.
yeah, dude, come on. And he's got another blockbuster coming next year, The Mission Impossible.
Yeah. It's just
So,
when you see Tom Cruise on the screen, like it's usually like that's when you say, okay, this is usually like a big budget movie. Like you're watching a blockbuster movie, and Tom Cruise is probably one of the last actors to do that. Before Tom Cruise, there was like Schwarzenegger and Arnold, but these guys are pretty much they don't really make movies.
yeah,
And if they do now, it's usually like shitty, B-level movies. Like shorts, like Stallone has this what is that
yeah,
fucking this movie when he's like what is it? He's like a civilian or some. I forget the name of it. It looks like it went straight to blockbuster kind of thing, but Tom Cruise is like the last actor I think right now that especially from our generation, that's like a big budget, like superhero in a movie, and I don't think they have actors like that anymore. You know, Nick, what do you call it? Vin Diesel and these guys, they ain't Tom Cruise. Trust me, they may have the
yeah.
little Fast and the Furious, but they're not action heroes like Tom Cruise was and still
I
is.
gotta be honest. You know what? It's so interesting though, because with Mrs. Mitch, because you bench press, right? You work out, Mrs. Mitch. That's Mitch 3.0, Mrs. Mitch. I always had a thing for like strong women. Like I look at Xena the Warrior. It's like I always had this thing for like for women that are like tough and strong. And they're like tomboys. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was always into that. I was never into like that Beverly Hills blondie bimbo whatever. I was never into that kind of shit. Yeah, maybe that's just my shtick, Cameron. I don't know. It's just
Well,
just my fetish, I guess. I don't know.
it's funny because usually my friends and see me, I have two different types of friends. I have the friends that I knew as a kid growing up from school, whatever. But then I have the friends that I've made in the last, like 20 years from the gym. There's two different types of friends, right? The friends that I know outside of the gym, and the friends
Yeah.
that I know, even the girls that I know inside the gym. So usually the people inside the gym that I know, they have a whole different perspective about what looks good and how they gauge things. Like I just looked at they showed the most beautiful girl in the world. It was like some fucking white girl in like Europe or some shit like that, right?
Uh huh.
And everybody's like, "Holy fuck, she's gorgeous." I'm thinking, this girl ain't got no fucking legs. How the fuck is she hot? Like she got a fucking big gap between her legs. She got a flat ass. Like I look at chicks who work out. Like I like fucking Brazilian chicks. They got some of the best
Oh
legs.
yeah.
Best. I tell people I don't give a fuck what the girl's eyes looks like. The first thing that because I'm into bodybuilding. The first thing my eyes go at are her legs and her ass. Right, glutes,
Strong
hamstrings, and thighs.
thighs.
That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
look like. I like chicks who work out, like athletic chicks, like CrossFit chicks, even certain types of bodybuilding. Like I'm a
Strong
as
shoulders and
as
lats and shrugs. Yeah.
what's funny is I was talking to my buddy Jerry. He's a black guy. Me and him are the same, and we're talking in the gym. I'm like, Jerry, if a normal guy who who isn't me or you or like in the circle of friends that we have, if they were to take your phone and look at the chicks that you follow on Instagram, they'll think you're fucked up because most guys they like these skinny girls who are wearing yoga pants. I'm like, and
Yeah.
I'm telling my buddy Jerry, like, and he's the same like me. He keeps saying, I keep telling him every chick that we follow, they usually have one thing in their title. It says IFBB Pro, International Federation of Bodybuilding, right? So when I see like what a normal guy shows me, like I have other friends, and they'll send me a picture of a girl, and I'll be like, ah, this girl's mediocre. I see hotter chicks in my gym. Right? It's because I'm around girls and around fit girls every fucking day, right? So my expectations of what a girl looks like is different than another than like another guy,
Yeah.
right? So like, it's like the girl from Game of Thrones. What's her name again?
Oh,
The
I
one that
know
has the one
the
that has the red hair. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
yeah.
like guys show me her, and I'm like, nah, she's mediocre.
He's the
She's
one
fucking,
where the brother fucked the sister or some shit. Uh,
yeah. She's like
oh yeah, yeah. Oh god.
she's like the tall one. But anyways, I'm looking at these chicks,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this chick is just fucking skinny. She ain't got no fucking no definition. She ain't got no fucking legs. She ain't got no structure, nothing. She's like a fucking washboard. I'm not into that shit. Like I'm not into like the fucking bikini. That shit doesn't turn me on. Like I'm into like the
Yeah.
wellness division, the Brazilians, the black girls. Like I'm into that shit. Like I like chicks who are. Like, I'm not even talking like, you know what? I do like fat chicks because I got like a fucked up personality, right? But
Hey, I
yeah,
like shorty ones too. I like four
yeah,
foot too, man.
yeah,
That's nice.
right. But I'm talking, but like when I look at like what guys like tell me they and I tell them like, to me, I don't really find that attractive. It's just not my cup of tea. But
Yeah.
hey, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's how I see it. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly. Look,
so
man, we all that's there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
Like Mrs. Mitch just said that she's 4 foot, 2 inches. That's fine. I actually like shorties. I don't like chicks being taller than me, to be honest with you. I don't mind. I have a strange fetishes. This is what I keep telling people. Just because you like something doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. Because
yeah,
we all have weird preferences. You know what I mean? They'll say, but how could you not like this supermodel? Like these supermodels from Victoria's Secret. I was like,
they got no legs, no ass, none of them. Trust me,
they're
none of them.
like sticks, like like walking sticks. Like the sticks on the Chinese food. When you use the chopsticks, whatever.
And I find personally, me, for some reason, I'm not attracted to nice girls. Like I'm not attracted to girls who are like religious, super kind. I mean, that's why I tell people I'm fucked up. I can't help it. I don't know why.
No, you're
I'm
not fucked up. You just have a
I'm
different fetish.
I'm attracted
That's
to the
not being
fucking
fucked up. You just have a fetish,
yeah.
different fetish.
I'm attracted to the
Different preference.
fucking yeah. I'm attracted to the fucking ghetto hoe, Cardi B
Nothing wrong
personality.
with
Like
that.
I like that shit. I like the fucking gangster like accent. I like the way she talks. Like that type of chick turns me on all the fucking time. Like I can't help it. That's just how That's what I say. Like
There's nothing wrong with that.
everybody. Yeah.
That's absolutely fine.
It's like
That's
some chicks.
absolutely
It's
fine.
like
Yeah.
some girls. It's like some girls say they like the bad boy type, right? I get it, right?
Yeah.
It's just I can't help it. Like when I see a girl, she's nice, she's religious, she's a church
How in the
going,
world?
a nice
Um,
girl, and people be like, oh, that's the girl you should marry. I'm thinking, a girl like
testing,
that, I
testing.
guarantee if you marry a girl like that, you ain't getting laid, never. She only giving you sex
Exactly.
when she's ready to have a kid. Right, I want myself a
Yeah.
nice little hoe. That's what I shouldn't be saying it like that because you got a lot of young people, but everybody has a different preference of what they like. So what you like may not be what I like. What I like
Yeah,
may not
but you
be
have to. That
what you
that's
like.
that's
Right?
why that's the unique thing about us being individuals. We all have our preferences, and this is what this cancel culture doesn't seem to get. This
Yeah.
is what Hollywood doesn't get it. That's not how it works. They keep forgetting that they're making movies for us. This is what I like about Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell says, well, I'm glad that I'm not part of Hollywood anymore. He said, because I make movies and I made movies in the past 40 years for everybody, for the
Yeah.
entire world, not just for certain groups of people. I make movies for everybody to watch. Some people will like it, some they will not. Doesn't matter. That's okay. But I make movies for everybody. Not just for certain groups of people. And I think this is the issue. This is what Hollywood doesn't get it. And you think they would get it with the success of Top Gun. They need to be asking themselves a question. Why is it that Top Gun, it's just demolishing everybody? all of these woke movies don't stand a chance. Thor, that shit's already coming out on Blu-ray.
Wow.
Maybe Disney Plus, probably on Disney Plus. And then you got the Jurassic movie. It's already coming out on 4K.
Oh,
So
that looks
all of
good.
these movies,
Yeah, I
yeah,
I seen it. I watched the Jurassic Park.
a
Um,
lot of woke shit in there.
it's no, like it's like as far as quality, story, and everything, it's nowhere like the original one. It's never gonna be like that. It's like
Like a
you can tell.
comedy, more like a comedy.
It's just not the quality is just not there. I mean, if you're watching it for free, it's okay. But if you're watching it saying, okay, is this gonna be a great
Thrill
Jurassic
ride,
Park like the original two or three of them? The
heart
first one was
pounding
good.
ride. There's no
Uh,
heart pounding ride,
uh,
right? No.
yeah, the story is like so watered down already. It's like the acting it's mediocre.
Uh,
Everything about it is lost. I think somebody was trying to come in the chat just now. Was that Dominic?
yeah, yeah, Dominic. Hey, Dominic, man, how are you, brother? Dom, you here?
Maybe he left. He didn't think he was connected.
Let me see. Uh, I
Double.
can hear you. I can hear you.
I don't hear Dominic.
I heard him a little bit.
Yeah, I heard him before. Yeah.
Uh, who knows what's going on? It's these microphones and the melons. I got lucky today a little bit. Usually it's a disaster over here. But I was watching She-Hulk. And again, people ask me, but wait a minute, you kind of liked it? Well, I said, people, hear me out. It's only the first episode, 30 minutes. I said, what I did like is the chemistry between the Bruce and his cousin Jen. I don't want to spoil what happens in that 35 minutes, but I like the chemistry between them. They use a lot of cussing, the F word. I was like, all right, this is not bad. This is good for Disney, All right, so maybe they're not going to be so damn woke. I like that. Then talking about Captain America's ass and all that, like a lot of sexual innuendos. Okay, I can dig this comedy. Look, what I'm going to say is this, Cameron. I'm judging it based on what I have experienced with the first
One
35
episode.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
this could change my mind. Next episodes, whatever. We'll see what happens. But right now, I'm judging the first episode. And yes, I have a fetish for strong women. So when she turns into a Hulk, it's like fucking turn on for me. So I get turned on by, even though I know it's CGI. Fuck, I know, but it looks good. So that's my guilty pleasure fetish. So,
Yeah,
and I
nothing
know,
wrong with that.
yeah, not wrong with that. But my opinions can change, Cameron. Maybe the episode 2 is going to suck. Maybe episode 3 is not going to make any sense, right? Or we'll see what happens. So my opinion is due to change on this one. Okay, so I just want people to understand that. I'm only judging the first episode, a short episode, 35 minutes. It's the shortest pilot I've ever seen. Okay. It's almost like they ran out of money,
Yeah,
dude.
why is it only 35 minutes? That's true, and it's going to be like what 8 episodes maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Every Thursday, I guess.
Yeah. Huh.
There's a talk. What's the real woman? How do you define the real woman? Mrs. Mitch says. How do I define? I'll tell you what. How I define the real woman. I had another crush when I was growing up, and that happened to be the movie that was on my birthday. April, it was in 1979 when that movie Alien was released in 1979. That movie, it's as old as I am, 43 years. And Sigourney Weaver, when I think about what woman is, that's what woman is to me. Strong leadership, smart, intelligent, and looks great. She's a sexy diva, man. Sigourney Weaver. Even right now, I wouldn't kick her off the bed. Are you fucking kidding me? So, yeah, come on. So that's when I think about like the real woman is. It's Sigourney Weaver. But again, that's just me. Some people might say Samantha Fox. They might say Denise Richards or whatever, Carmen Electra, Pamela Anderson, whatever. Everyone will have their own shtick, whatever. But me, I would say Sigourney Weaver is what makes like a real woman to me. That's fearless, smart, intelligent, and has the leadership. And That's who I want to be with. If I want to survive the fucking, apocalypse, Sigourney Weaver is definitely, Ripley is definitely the one person I want to be with. You know what I mean? Ripley team. Let's put it that way, Cameron. That's what to me defines a strong woman leadership. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I
no, that's
mean,
right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Different
yeah.
taste. Yeah.
But that's just me. That's just me. Yeah. What about you, Cameron? Like, what would you like define a real woman? What do you think?
For me, like I don't know. Some guys say person like they say, or I don't know, girls like to say when I look into his eyes, or guys when I look into. I don't fucking even notice your eyes. I notice your ass and your fucking legs first. I can't help it. When I'm in the gym, that's the first thing I'll look at a girl. I don't even give a fuck if she's a cunt or not. 'Cause when I look at first things my eyes naturally do is to look at her ass and her ass, her legs, and I'm already gonna make my judgment just based on her ass and her legs. I can't help it.
But
That's just the
that's
way
what I
I
love
am,
about you, brother.
right?
That's what I love about you, Cameron. Yeah.
Yeah, and my buddies are the same way because they're all into fitness and they're all into training. All my buddies like they're all leg guys, right? So, when I look at like people tell me like these celebrities, I'm looking at these. I'm thinking, why she ain't got no fucking like when I see like don't get me wrong, I'll fuck the shit out of Jay like Jennifer Lopez, but when guys tell
Oh
me
yeah.
or girls tell me like Jennifer Lopez is fit, I'm like fit really? She's kind of chubby by my standards. She ain't got no visible abs. She ain't got no leg definition.
Exactly.
Even my buddies, like some of these black guys I have, they tell me
But
like,
you wouldn't kick her off the bed, obviously.
no, no. I have when it comes to women, I have low standards. I'll fuck a fucking fat ugly chick. I tell my buddy like sometimes I was telling my buddy Desmond the other day because he went to. Do you guys know what Caravana is? In Toronto, we have Caravana. It's like the Jamaican, Trinidadian. It's basically
Uh-huh.
like a Caribbean holiday that we have on the 1st of August, long
Oh, I
weekend.
didn't know that. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool, man.
so downtown they have like the huge parade. People from all over the world they come, right? So my buddy Desmond,
Nice. All the Islanders. Nice, nice, nice,
yeah,
man.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So my buddy Desmond,
yeah,
he's a Jamaican guy. He went down there. He's like, "Yo, let's go." And he's like 31. I'm like, "Fuck that guy. My fucking days of doing that shit are done. I'm not gonna go get down
yeah.
there and get fucking clapped by no fucking bullet or some fucking stabbing." But anyway, so he goes down there and he's filming like he's on his Instagram. He's filming himself like dancing. He's a fat guy, but he's been working out. And he's taking off his shirt and he's like filming himself dancing, whatever. So then he's texting me. He's like, "Yo, come." He's like, "Yo, it was wicked and wicked." So I go to him. "Do you fuck any bitches?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "I didn't see anything that I liked." I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And I'm telling him you should lower your standards. He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, if you want to get fucking, if you want to get some good sex, you got to get yourself some fucking white hillbilly fucking hog fat chick." And she'll suck your dick
Yeah,
like you wouldn't believe, like, but these guys are, these are young guys. They don't know that shit. But my older guys, my age,
yeah.
they know what I'm saying, like, but, like that's what I'm saying. Like I can, like if you're talking to me, like if you're asking me, like what do I find attractive, I'm always gonna look at the ass and the legs. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have low standards. Where like if a fucking some ugly fat chick wants to give me fucking a blowjob or let me fuck her, I'm not gonna turn it down. That's just how I am. It's like I'm just a horny fool.
I, I
You
know
know,
exactly. I know exactly what Tony Montana would say. Come, man.
you know.
Let me tell you something, man. In this world, man, first you get the power, get the money. No, 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 man. First you get the money, then you get the power. Once you get the power, then you get the pussy, man. That's it, man.
You ever watch
But
what's that
yeah.
show with John Voight and
Oh, right, Ray Donovan.
yeah, okay. You ever watch Ray
Oh,
Donovan?
fucking
Okay,
A. Yeah.
okay. So I and even my mom, she tells people this story. She says because my mom
Uh
watches the show hardcore too, right? And
yeah.
the character that John Voight plays, Mickey Donovan, right?
Oh, he's so fucking good in that one.
So my
He's so
mom
good.
always tells me that Mickey Donovan is Cam, right? He'll fuck any chick. He smokes his fucking weed, and just like if you watch the show Ray Donovan, and
It is like you, man.
and you
Pretty
know Mickey
much.
Donovan, and Mickey Donovan's personality, he's always got the next con thinking, and people always, and that's why I say like if I was to think of a movie person who is like me, I would say Mickey Donovan from fucking Ray Donovan, like
And he
John
played
Voight.
it so good,
Yeah,
man. John Voight, guys, if you don't know who John Voight is, oh, Runaway Train. I mean, so many movies. Deliverance with Burt Reynolds,
yeah,
Heat. I mean, the list goes on. He's a old time, old school actor, man. And just and
Angelina Jolie died.
his daughter, obviously, it's what's her name?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie. Yeah, yeah. So he's just a tour de force of an actor. If you guys never seen any of, dude, you need to watch his movies. Great actor. Fuck this new shit. Go watch John Voight old school movies. The true act class, like how good he was, man. Especially with the Runaway Train. That was so fucking good. Uh, I don't know if you ever see
Oh
that
yeah,
movie where he's
yeah,
yeah
yeah.
they
He's
escape
great.
from
Great
the
actor.
prison. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah. And Julia Roberts' brother was in it. What's his name? When he
Eric
was
Roberts.
young, Eric Roberts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great, great movie. And I wish that this new generation would watch these old movies to see what the real movies were like back then. No CGI. That's the real fucking train. That shit, like they're there, you know. And movies back then were much difficult to make because there
Yeah.
was no CGI. Everything was for real. That car, we're going to destroy that car. That building, we're going to level that building. You know, that train's going for real. You know, so you don't see that anymore, and I think that's something that's missing. That's what this generation that were born in early 2000s, you know, they don't get to see that. They see Matrix, you know, all that slow motion bullet thing, you know, whatever, what you call it, bullet time, whatever they call that shit. What was that? The CGI bullet thing they called it, uh, bullet time, or on the Matrix, that special effect.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, but anyway,
I don't
this
remember
this
the
whole
name.
thing, yeah, but this whole thing started with Matrix in '99, 2000. You know, the whole Matrix CGI thing, and everybody started doing CGI, right? Went like crazy. Bullet time, yeah, it was called the bullet time, yeah, the special effects. Now, granted, Matrix was definitely, you know, a groundbreaking and very first like groundbreaking CGI, you know, that was done really well, and it still stands today. The same thing goes with Jurassic Park, the original 2003, and The Abyss. However, the problem is nowadays the CGI is being used all the time. And you know it's fake. You know, it's like, oh, this shit is fake, man. Even when I watch the End Game and the Infinity War, it feels like I'm watching like a video game. It's like the characters are like so fake, you know, they're like flying up and down.
Yeah.
It's like a video game. Yeah. And I think that's what. Now, when you look at Gray Man, it's from the same directors, but they use less CGI. They did more stunt work, like real stunts, and then you see how better it is. Yes, the real stunts are dangerous, but that's what makes the movie more enjoyable. And this is what I like about Tom Cruise, that he's willing to take that risk, you know, because he knows if they do it for real, well, it's just going to look better,
Yeah.
right? It's going to look better and people are going to fucking love it. But when you're using a CGI, then it's like, you know, it's fake. Now, Avatar, it's a different beast. That movie has to be CGI, but that was done really well. People got to remember, Avatar, it's the way James Cameron films Avatar with CGI and 3D. It's done beautifully. It's done carefully, Cameron. You know what I mean? The way he positions the shots and everything, and you appreciate the art. It's almost like a painting, you know? He's using it properly, while others are just putting it out there, compositing it, you know, VFFX and all that shit, composite shots, and those composite shots, sometimes they don't even turn out to be that good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just feel what Ridley Scott said, CGI is being used way too much these days, and I think that's one of the problems, you know, with today's cinema. You know what I mean? I mean,
Al- I
do
think
you agree on
also,
that? I mean, do you think
yeah.
it's used too much? Yeah.
Also, I find that the people who are watching movies nowadays, they have low
Yeah.
expectation for movies. Like they have shitty taste. It's like I remember when I was commenting on a movie, and they were like making it was like a remake of an old movie, and I was basically saying that the old movie was great, like the original movie that came out in
Yeah.
the early 90s or late 80s. It was great because even though it was a sci-fi movie, the way the director made the movie, it was still very believable. Like, yeah, there's no such thing as a fucking alien, but the way that they did the story and the way that they told the story, the way that the sequence of events happened in the movie, it was very, very realistic, and I believed it. And because I believed it, I enjoyed the movie. That's why the movie was a masterpiece. Nowadays, when I wrote down, like, basically saying the movies today, they lose that. All they care about is putting in some fucking pretty girl, some fucking good looking guy who doesn't know how to act in the movies, and they throw in a bunch of shitload of special effects. The people who watch movies now, that's all they care about.
Yeah,
And people are like, "Well, bro, it's a fucking movie about special effects. It's a movie about sci-fi. It's not supposed to be real." But they don't understand that. Then to me, these people, they like shitty movies. When I watch a movie, I'm always hoping that the movie is going to be the next masterpiece that I see. I'm not. I watch a movie thinking, it's going to be shit, right? Certain movies, I know it's going to be shit because of the history that it has. But like, if I'm a movie director, I'm thinking, even if I'm making a sequel, I want my movie to be better than the first one. But people
yeah.
nowadays, it's just people nowadays have a low expectation for movies, and that's why the movies don't do well. That's why the movies are shit. And I'm finding most of the movies coming out nowadays, when I watch them, they feel like a movie that should go straight to blockbuster. They don't even feel like a blockbuster movie. The other day I
Yeah,
watched.
honestly, that's what what's like. I was talking about this earlier with Mrs. Mitch and iced coffee and Robert. I was saying, like, and I even spoke to you about this. My idea about, like, let's say we want to bring Arnold Schwarzenegger into the True Predator sequel, and I'm thinking, all right, so let's say he's 68, 69, he's 70 years old, he still got it, and he's living in central Mexico where the whole thing happened, right? He's
Yeah,
still in the jungle, and he's there he's he's like a guide, expedition guide, to help people to experience the jungle in the safest possible way, and he's doing that for a living. And let's say that now the aliens, these predators, they tracked him down and they know where he's at, right? And now they want to send the highest tier class because he defeated a hunter class predator. Now they're like, okay, we tracked down this Dutch. I think it's time to send our best of the best, highest tier class uh, king predator. King Predator, 12'9", whatever, the most experienced Predator, and let's send him in there on exactly the same spot where he killed the Hunter class. Wouldn't that be a great sequel, right? And now you see for 2.5 hours, mano a mano, like these two titans, Dutch representing the human race and these predators representing their race, and they're two tiers, top tiers, right? And they're clashing together again. But this time, the Dutch is clashing against even more advanced, smarter, equipped King Predator. And I'm like, why can't like this script be made? And I tell you, if I sit down with Arnold Schwarzenegger and I talk to him about this, I guarantee you, he would think about it like, all right, let me hit the gym, put on some more muscles. He knows how to do that shit. I think he would be interested in this. What do you think about that?
yeah,
And I think that's what people want, Cameron. That's what people are yearning. They want to see something that they haven't seen before. They want to see the next level, and they want to be entertained. They want to be shocked, and they want to be surprised. And you got to give them that. Because if you
yeah.
can't deliver on that, this is why these movies are failing. This is why they're failing, Cameron. And I don't know why it's so difficult for Hollywood. Hey, contact me, Hollywood. There's contact Cameron, contact Mitch. We all have ideas. Please just
Yeah.
contact the right people, and the right script can be made and produced. What do you think?
No, that's true too. But here's the thing with Arnold. The thing with Arnold is when you watch Arnold in the 80s, 90s, and maybe even the early 2000s, I don't think he has the same personality anymore. Like, I think he's been too
Washed out, burned
washed
out.
up. No, no. I think politics and being governor has changed
Yeah,
his perspective. Like, what like when he was making like Total Recall, Commando, and a Predator, and the Terminator 2 and Terminator 1 movies back then, he was like this fucking smoking cigars,
Not
banging
giving a
chicks.
shit. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
banging chicks. Like he had a different personality, but now when he became filthy, mega rich, and then he became a politician, I think his personality, that Arnold, I think, is kind of gone. Like the Arnold that I'm thinking about, I think that Arnold is gone. Now he's more governor of California. Like he's more
yeah,
political. You know,
yeah,
I think Stallone still has some of that like Rambo First Blood. He still has it because he was never into
yeah,
politics. He was never into that life. So when I watch Stallone, he's still the same personality. Like to me, when I watch Stallone, I still see Rocky in his face, even though he's like 72 now. I still see Rocky. He has that personality. But Arnold, I mean, I love Arnold. But when I watch Arnold now, and because I follow Arnold on Instagram, and I see the way he talks. Like now he's with his fucking two. He lives with his two fucking goats in his house, right? He's got his two goats.
yeah, yeah.
He's got yeah, yeah,
Lulu
yeah,
and what you call it?
yeah,
Dudu
yeah,
and
yeah,
Lulu, and there's a two
yeah,
fantastic
right.
donkeys. There's
And
one's a
he's
donkey, then there's a pony. There's a fantastic. Thank you, Maria Shriver, for giving me the donkeys that I needed.
yeah,
But yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
and he's like fucking riding his e-bike all around, L.A. or wherever he lives. He's riding his e-bike. He's not the same Schwarzenegger, I think. Like as far
sure.
as personality,
Not
that
the
he
same
go
guy
back.
from Austria. Yeah,
Yeah, like he
yeah,
wouldn't go back in there and like like have those cool sayings. Like I'm pretty sure some of those cool sayings that Arnold used to make in the movies, they were probably not even part of the script. He just fucking said it smoking his cigar. He's like, baby, this is gonna sound badass. And he probably just said it naturally, and they're like, fuck, that's wicked. We're keeping it. You know? He just
yeah.
had that he just had that personality back then that
I think
they're
it's
like, yo, this fuck.
politics that screwed him over, dude.
Yeah, I think
He got into this whole politics, and he was kind of like a flip flopping. Like, are you Republican or are you Democrat? Because the stuff you're talking sounds more like far left, like liberal. But are you really a Republican? So people are questioning his like party, like because he's registered Republican. But is he
yeah,
a hardcore Republican? I don't know, or is he in the middle somewhere? And it's really hard to tell. But the way he talks and all the stuff that he said, it sounds more like that he's more leaning towards left
yeah,
because California is left. It's more liberal, and he lives in that state. He loves that state, so he's under a lot of pressure by liberals, obviously. And I know, I get it. I think I understand his mindset. He wants to get along with everybody. And I think he even says that, I wanted to get to talk to everybody. I want to be able to solve all these problems together. I want to sit across the aisle. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. It doesn't matter. I want to be able to sit across the table, talk to you. How do we fix this? Let's walk together. And I get it, dude. I understand. I understand where he's coming from. But it seems to me, like you were saying, that he kind of had moved more towards left, wouldn't you say?
yeah. And
It seems to me. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
I guarantee you, the old Schwarzenegger from the 80s and 90s, he'd be like, I don't give a fuck about politics. He'd be like that, He's like, give me some fucking
Yeah,
grenades, give me some bazookas, give me some machine guns, let me
yeah,
do what I do, baby. You know, that's that's how he was back then. But now I mean, I guess, he got older too, and his perspective on life changed, right? So, I mean,
yeah.
all of us too. Like, I mean, we got older. We're not the same people we used to be when we're younger. It's
And
to
what
be
is that that he
expected.
said? I remember that thing he said that got him in a hot water. Something about, man, I can't even say it on here, about taking the jab.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Taking the
Yeah,
jab.
I remember that. Yeah, yeah. He actually got, yeah, and a lot of people in the fitness world, they actually turned on him because they're like, listen, Arnold, you're supposed to represent freedom and
Exactly.
people's rights, and you're saying if people don't do it, they shouldn't be allowed. So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, 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 exactly. But all of those things, it's not the same Arnold anymore that I remember. Not
Yeah,
that I don't like the guy, I still like the guy. I'm just saying his not the same Arnold anymore.
yeah. Stephen is here. I'll,
Steven
I'll
Steven?
keep. I'll keep him. I'll keep him around for entertainment. Yeah, if he wants to hang around, that's fine. He can hang around. Like, look, man, I'm look, I'm just, I just have a problem a little bit that he spent 5 hours talking all this trash about me, and he knows it's not true. Come on, man. You know what I mean? 5 hours talking all that shit about me. But hey, look, whatever. I don't care if that's what he wants to do. Fine. I just felt that um, I don't know. I mean, the thing about Steven is this: he's like one of those individuals. Love him or hate him, like he always turns out. He's always there. Like love him or hate him, he's always there. He's like that weasel. Like it's always there. Love him or hate him. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can tag along, Steve, man. I don't care. It's all good. I just find whatever, dude. You spend 5 hours talking trash about me. Whatever, dude. Everybody knows that it's all bullshit. But anyway, fine. Let him stick around. That's fine. But are you sure, Mrs. Mitch, that's him? Are you pretty sure? Because he's
Well,
pretty butthurt. Because
if it's
he's pretty
Steven,
butthurt
if it's Steven,
about.
he'll admit it's him. I don't think he's gonna hide
Yeah,
it. So just
yeah. Because he's pretty butthurt. You got to remember, I exposed him. Steve the Creep. And the stuff I called him, Steve the Creep and Steve the Pervert, Steve the Broken Vinyl Record on the Mushrooms. Excuse me, Steve the Broken Record on High on Mushrooms. I definitely put him out there on a pedestal and on a billboard. Not to mention the whole thing between him and Holly. Look, here's the thing. It's not that he said that. Fine. A lot of dudes will probably say that when they're fucking somebody. But, dude, you're talking to somebody that you just met. You know what I mean? You just met this woman. You know that she has a child and she's a single mother. And you just met her and, she showed you her tattoos. Yeah, she showed you her tattoos. Maybe you saw a little bit of cleavage and you got turned on by that shit. But that's creepy, dude. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, Steven. That shit is creepy. I can control myself. Even if I get turned on by somebody being provocative, dressed provocative, I'm still going to have some, look, there's a time and place for everything. But, dude, you just met this woman and you're just talking to her like she's your, lady on the side. You guys been fucking for a long time or something. I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Cameron? I mean, am I maybe being too harsh? Am I being too harsh on this?
No, I think that's how everybody would normally think, right? Like, I mean, you can go home and jerk off to her, but you don't tell her all your dirty thoughts, especially like you said, you don't ever know her. You don't ever know, especially he knows that she's on the channel too, and more than likely she's gonna fucking screenshot everything and take it out. Only time you do that is if it's a girl, it's your girlfriend, or you guys talk dirty, or it's some kind of fucking sex chat thing that you're on. But
Yeah.
when you're talking
I
to like
just
a
felt
girl,
mad. Honestly, I felt mad because I felt like, dude, you're taking advantage of this woman, saying all this shit. Uh, I like her personality, and she seems like a very nice person. She's very open minded, very laid back and easygoing. But it doesn't mean I will take advantage of her, you know. Same thing with Emma. I'm not going to talk dirty to Emma, even though she wouldn't mind if I did. But I have certain respect, you know what I mean? When it comes to friends. If you're my friend, that's it. You're my friend, and I will respect you. Now, if you want to come on to me and you want to fool around with me, okay, that's a different story. Then we'll see where it goes. But I like to give people, you know what I mean, Cameron? I have that certain principle of respect. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I don't like or I don't find somebody attractive, but I have certain respect and principles where I wouldn't lower myself to that level. You know what I mean? You catch my drift on that?
yeah,
That's just me. That's just the way I am. And then I'm still shocked that he did that. And I don't know how he can wash himself away from that. I don't know. The only way he can wash himself away from that is to admit and say, what I did was wrong. But he doubled down. He says, I was fooling around. No, dude, it didn't sound like you were fooling around. That's not fooling around. You were very detailed about the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell. If he's watching this, which I'm pretty sure he's watching this, a lot. I'm sure he's watching this. I don't know what to tell you, Steve. Maybe you should have apologized to her. You had plenty of opportunities. Say, hey, I'm sorry. It's never going to happen again. I wasn't thinking. I got excited and I fucked up. People will say, okay, at least he's admitting it. Let's give him a chance. You know what I mean? We're all humans. We all fuck up. We all make mistakes. All right? I'm not in business of burning people, even though I know the ginger hog is going to think that I'm a business of burning people. I gave everybody so many chances. From Stephen, okay, not a ginger hog, Sir Anthony Kenneth Bishop. There you go. Sir Anthony Kenneth Bishop and Stephen. I given all of them plenty of chances, plenty of opportunities, but every time I would do that, it would backfire at me. Same thing with Stephen. I gave him a chance. I let him come back. We did a podcast together. It was me, you, and Cameron, right? Me, Cameron, and him, and Holly. And then he goes in doing a 5-hour podcast with Anthony Kenneth Bishop, and he's talking about me for 5 hours. All this bullshit that's not true. And I'm like, I must be an idiot. I must be the biggest idiot of all time. Like, how many chances do I give these individuals? And that's the same thing I even said to you, Cameron. Like, how many chances do I have to give to these people, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I am the way I am. I don't want to be this guy because I'm not that guy. People who know me, they know I'm not like that. But I have to draw a line somewhere, okay? And people like Steven, I don't think they're going to change. If I give him another chance, I guarantee you he'll do the same shit. I guarantee you. If he gets an opportunity, he'll do it again. Talk shit behind my back. And I don't want to go back and forth with that crap again, I think it's time for him to keep some distance and maybe think about what he did. And maybe a year from now, a year and a half from now, maybe he's going to realize, hey, it's me, Steve. Look, man, water under the bridge. I've been thinking about everything in the past year and a half, right? Give him some time. But right now, it's still kind of current. It's still kind of early for me to be giving them a chance to come back, So they're all saying time is the healer, right? We all learn. Look, we all make mistakes. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm some saint. I ain't. I'm far from saint. I'm far from perfect. Nor would I ever dare to call myself perfect. I made a lot of mistakes in my past too. Stuff that I'm not proud of. I fucked up many times. But that's part of life. That's part of growing up. That's part of learning. You fall down, you get up, you learn, and you evolve. You learn from those mistakes. But the problem is some people never learn from their mistakes. And if you give them the chances, then they look at that as a weakness. And they think, oh, well, I can do this all the time. This Mr. 4K is a softie. I can fuck up all the time, talk behind his back, and he's going to let me in. I have to draw a line somewhere in the sand. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not a perfect guy. We all make mistakes. I made mistakes, but that's part of growing up, part of being young, part of being stupid, growing, learning. We all done that. Okay, I'm not sitting here sugarcoating my fucking self. But what I'm simply saying is, like, people need to understand, I already given these individuals plenty of chances, and they took the advantage of it. They mistaken my kindness for weakness, and the rest is history. You've seen it on that, 5-hour live stream that I did. I put all the evidence there. Everything's there.
Yeah.
So, like I said, time is like if he wants to come here and watch this and hang around with his undercover, I can't stop him. He's going to come in regardless. That's fine. But am I going to give him a chance to come back so I can interact with him and talk to him, bring him on a podcast? I don't think so. That's something that's going to have to wait. Same thing goes with the Anthony. Something's going to have to wait because it's still current. It is still fresh. It is still hot. And time is the healer. and that's the way I want to leave it.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it at that. But where were we? I forgot.
You're talking
Oh
about
yeah, Arnold. Yeah, and
yeah,
the politics. Yeah. But look at the other guy, John Voight. They canceled him. See,
yeah,
double standards in California, in Hollywood. They canceled Republican actor John Voight. So what if he was a Trump supporter? Who gives a shit? That's his
yeah.
right. That's his God-given American red, blue, and white Star Spangled Banner right to support the president, the current president, or the previous president. That's his God-given American right. What the fuck is wrong with that?
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
true. Yeah. It's
I
supposed
don't
to be
get that. But you see, that's the double standard with liberals, with Hollywood. And they canceled him because he loved Trump. So what? Dana White likes Trump, but he's not going to apologize for it. It's like, that's my American right to support whoever's the president,
and I'm
whichever
sure
president I like.
and I'm
Hey,
sure
I
a lot
like
of
Bill
people
Clinton. That's my choice. I don't give a shit what people think. I adored Bill Clinton back then. I loved him.
Yep.
I thought he was the best president we had. That's my opinion. But that's my right as an American to say, hey, I adored Bill Clinton from 93 all the way till 99. I thought he was a great president. I didn't give a fuck about the Lewinsky thing and all that shit, Ken Starr, witch hunt. I didn't give a fuck. I enjoyed him as a president, meaning I admired him as a president. And people should be able to do that. Like, if you like Trudeau, hey, dude, that's fine. That's your choice, right? As a Canadian, you love Trudeau, you love Trudeau. Who am I to tell you otherwise? Why should I demonize you, right? If you love Trudeau, you love Trudeau. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Hollywood right now, Cameron. This whole cancel culture shit. It's the biggest break that's put onto the industry, man. And I'm telling you, that's the sad part.
Oh, we allowed society allowed counterculture to dictate everything, and now they've taken over. So it's not surprising, right?
Yeah,
And I'm sure
and it's
a lot of people's favorite celebrities, actors, singers, probably Trump supporters. They just won't tell you because they know that cancel culture is not out there. But John Voight, like I said, he's got a wicked personality. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like what do you call it? He's like I forget his name now. But anyways, yeah, he's like he's outspoken. He doesn't give a fuck what you say. That's why he'll say he's like Clint Eastwood. They'll tell you what the fuck they're thinking. But a lot of your favorite celebrities, they'll hide it. They won't tell you anything because they know what's gonna happen. So
yeah,
you know,
they can because they have to be careful because they're part of the club, and the club is telling them, hey, you gotta dress this way, you gotta talk this way, you gotta believe in this, you have to support this, and that's the pressure that they're under. A lot of these celebrities like Brad Pitt, right,
yeah,
and others, and that's why they're so always quiet and like, well, I can't really comment on that. I don't know if can I. Like they would like turn around. Did you notice like how many times like Brad Pitt would turn around, ask his publicist, "Can I answer that?" Why are you asking your publicist? Can you answer that? But he has to because he's careful because he knows if he says the wrong thing, well, that's it. He's done. There goes his career. And that's the shitty thing about Hollywood. And of course, the same thing happened with Arnold because, he was under a lot of pressure because he wants to still have that connection with Hollywood. And the only way he can have that connection with Hollywood and, the California legislator, it's if he believes and drinks the same Kool-Aid that the liberals are drinking. I don't know how else to say it other than
yeah,
that. That's pretty much the way it is. And even John Voight, actually, who's been in Hollywood forever, in LA, so he knows how it works. And even he says it publicly. Yeah, well, that's pretty much the way it boils down. And he says it's sad because it goes against our democracy values that we cherish so much, that even John Wayne has cherished, and every actor before us has cherished. That's what made the America great. And right now we're pulverized with all this division shit. Look what happened to poor Oliver Stone. And the guy made great movies. JFK, Platoon, Natural Born Killers, Any Given Sunday, etc., etc. Wall Street, right? Nixon with Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins, James Woods, but uh, and of course JFK with Kevin Costner in 1990s. And he's a great director. But look at him now. He can't make a movie feature anymore in Hollywood. Why? Because he supports Russia and he supports Putin. But he should be able to do that. He should be able to do that. Why can't he have a freedom of speech to support who he wants to support? Isn't that the whole idea of democracy? You know, he did a documentary on the Ukraine called Ukraine on Fire, and he was exposing these Hazmats, these nationalist battalions. They're like Nazis. Like, if you don't speak Ukrainian and if you speak Russian, they don't want you there. They want you out of there. And that's why all that shit was going on in Donbass in 2014. But a lot of that stuff was kept hush-hush in the Western media, in Europe, right? They didn't want to talk about that, you know. And he kind of exposed that with Ukraine on Fire to show how corrupt Ukrainian government is and all that stuff. And because of that, well, Oliver Stone got outcast because he was trying, and again, he's not saying this because he did that interview with Putin. He asked Putin some hard-hitting questions when he did that interview with Putin. But he respected him that he gave him a straight answer, the questions that he asked him, about certain nuclear agreements that the West has broken, the treaty that the West has broken with Russia, and they manipulated and they conned, like con artists, they manipulated the Russia. All of this stuff, and none of that stuff, obviously, the Hollywood wants to be put out there because Oliver Stone, it's associated with that stuff. And that's the sad part about living in America these days. You're being canceled. Even this video will be demonetized because I said something about Oliver Stone and Putin. Right? It's people are living in fear right now. People are losing their jobs because they said something. Well, that's not democracy. The reason we have the First Amendment, freedom of speech, it's because of that reason, because it is not a popular speech. It's unpopular speech, but that's why it's there, and that's why you need to hear it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't need to dance around with it and celebrate it, but it needs to be there. People got to be able to say it. That's the core principle of Constitution. I wonder how many people actually have the booklet of Constitution to truly understand what the Constitution stands for, what our forefathers have created in 1776 with 13 colonies. After we finally, finished that war with the help of French people. Yes, French helped George Washington a lot to defeat the Redcoats. I don't know if people know this, if they do their history, to defeat the King George, so he can withdraw. But those values are somewhere lost. That Constitution, democracy, those values are lost. People are getting censored. People are getting bullied and censored by these big tech social media. They're run by far left liberals, And that's not democracy. That's not what America stands for, man. I know what America stands for, and what's going on today, this is a different type of America. This is something different. And you can feel it. You can sense it. You can feel, that fear of scrutiny. Am I going to get scrutinized by what I just said? Am I going to be judged by what I just said? And I express my opinion, my First Amendment right, which I should have and should be able to use. And I'm afraid, and I agree with Oliver Stone. That's what scares me, and that's what scares him too, Cameron. That wall of propaganda and division that's being set by these different parties, and it's sad, honestly, But
For sure.
Yeah, that's really where we at right now, guys. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I don't, and it's sad. This whole thing is fucking sad that this is where we at, man. It shouldn't be like this. People shouldn't be censored. People should be able to say whatever the fuck they want to say.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of America. People need to watch America in 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. What a beautiful America that was. Was it perfect? Of course not. But it's a fucking great experiment to be able to express yourself. And right now we're seeing less and less of that with all this cancel culture shit, and that's what scares me, honestly, Cameron, to be honest with you. And I mean, but that's just me. What do you think? I mean, I don't know.
No, it's I said this before. We don't live in a free country anymore. We live in a country that you have to abide by what the rules that they tell you, and if you think differently, then you're the problem.
Yeah, true.
It's only,
Yeah,
it's only, like I said, it's not a free country. It's only, you're only okay, and you're only have your comforts if you do what they tell you, and you don't stay, and you stay to their narratives. If you have your own thoughts and opinion, and it doesn't match what they're telling you and what they want you to believe, then you're gonna get killed.
outcast. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Pretty much, you get outcast, and that's the sad part. People have lost their jobs, man. I mean, it's crazy because they said something on a Twitter, right? They expressed themselves, and the company and the boss they didn't like that, right? Because it didn't match their points of views, right? And the person lost their job. So basically, you have no freedom of speech, or maybe you have it, but it's going to cost you, right? It's going to cost you a job if you say something, if you express yourself. You know, people should be able to like who they want to like. You know,
yeah,
if people like Trump, they should be able to like him. I'm not going to
exactly.
look down. I'm not going to look at
Fuck
a
you like
Trump
there, yeah.
supporter
Fuck
and
you like
say,
there, yeah.
"Hey, yeah, you're an evil person if you like Trump." No, I'm not going to demonize somebody if they like Trump. I'm not going to demonize somebody if they like Putin. I'm not going to demonize. You should
Yeah.
be able to like who you want to like. That's the beauty of democracy. That's how it works. Because then we should have stayed with King George. You know what? Then our forefathers shouldn't have fought. George Washington should have laid down his weapons and surrendered to King George, right? Then we should have done that if that's what we wanted. But that's not what we wanted. That's why we fought. And of course, French helped us from the South, you know. But this is not the, democracy of America that I have read on a constitution,
No, everything's changing now. It's a whole
It's
new world.
changed. Yeah. And again, and then freedom of speech, like I said earlier, it's exactly there not to be pleasing to your ears, Cameron, right? It's not there to be pleasing to your ears. It's there for a reason. So you can hear some hardcore stuff that you don't want to hear. But I should be able to say it without being censored and without being scrutinized. I should be able to say it. But unfortunately, you can't say it because if you say it, you lose your job, you lose your privileges and whatever you have.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, you fucked basically. You outcast. Yeah, and that's scary, dude. That's like living under, I don't know, like Stalin or some shit, or some Marxism type of ruler. It's or King George. That's fucking redcoats, right? King George says you have to do this and that. If you don't, you will be hanged. Right?
You're living
King
in
George says you have
fucking
to share your daughters to him.
fucking communist mentality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's another topic. I think somebody spoke about it in your live stream today, but I seen it in the paper in the on my phone on one of the articles as well. Is that GameStop on the verge of bankruptcy and closing down? Not
It's about
surprising.
time.
What's
It's about time. I'll be honest. Look, I love EB Games. I love Electronic Boutique. I know it's two different companies, but
we don't have that anymore. They closed down here, but I
yeah,
I did buy my PS5 from them. But now
Yeah.
GameStop bought them over, and now GameStop's not doing well.
Here's the problem with the GameStop. They were just looking to profit quick cash, but they were never smart about it. You know what I mean? And like I said, hey, I respect the hustle. We just talked about con artistry, right? Earlier, being a con artist. But you got to give something back if you want to survive as a company, right? You got to give us something back. You can't just demand, demand, demand. That's how you fail as a service, right? That's how you fail as a business. Demanding, demanding, demanding. No, 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 no. That's not how it works. You got to give something back. And the GameStop never gave something back to the members of the the Game Informer and the GameStop and all that membership. You're constantly getting ripped off, right? You just bought a game and you played it for about a few days and you paid $60 for it, and they want to give you a trading credit for like $8. Get the fuck out of here! Listen, I'm gonna rather eat that fucking disc than to fucking trade it in for $8. You know that kind of bullshit. They were ripping people off like blind. I mean, up front and center. Like they had no shame. GameStop had no shame. Like they were basically telling you, strip down, bend over, let me put this big dick up your ass. Pretty much is what they were doing when you walk in. And I experienced this, man. I was a loyal GameStop. I don't know if you knew this about me back in 2008, 2007, 2006,
Well, we
2009, and
didn't really have much option back then. It's not like now. Like
yeah.
I've seen
But I saw
GameStop,
what happened to the company. I saw where the
Sony,
transition, you
yeah,
know.
Sony and Xbox killed GameStop, and that was when the Sony and Xbox created digital games. I've even said, like, I've even seen them say that's the problem, and they have both said that the problem they see is why doesn't Sony and Xbox allow them to
Yeah,
sell the digital game, so they could sell you like a, like an Xbox or a PlayStation digital code to download the game. But PlayStation does, an Xbox, they don't even allow that. You can only get the game from them, like the digital
yeah.
version. So that killed the market for Xbox and PlayStation. I mean for GameStop, because Xbox and PlayStation started doing that, and they're like, we don't want you to sell our cut. We want to be the only people who can do it. Same thing with Walmart. Walmart doesn't get access to sell you digital games for PlayStation and Xbox. So, you know, and nowadays most people don't really care about the fucking physical version anymore. That's the reality. It's like I was gonna tell you on the live stream, but it would be too long to text us. But what I'm finding lately with myself is that usually what I try to do now is I'll go on Facebook Marketplace, or I'll go on Kijiji, which is it's like Craigslist.
Hmm.
And what I'll do is I'll look for the physical game, because usually when the game comes out, people will be selling the physical game really cheap, and I'll buy the physical game, and then I'll play the game, I'll beat it, I'll platinum, and I'll sell it. But lately, I'm finding I don't even want to buy the physical game whatsoever. Like it's like
Too
I'm
much of a hassle.
yeah, it's like right now Valhalla. I'm in love with the game. I just bought the DLC, but the other day I was telling myself that I don't own Valhalla. I only have it because it's free for PS Plus members, right? But I like the game so much that I want to go buy the game, right? So I went on Facebook Marketplace, and I found a guy who's like, 15-minute drive from my house, and he has the game, and he's like, and it's the PS5 version, and he goes to me, I'll give it to you for $20 Canadian, which is a great price, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was gonna go buy it. I told him I was gonna go buy it, and then at the last moment, I even told the guy, okay, I'm going to the gym, and I'm gonna finish around 3 o'clock, and I'll come by. But as I'm working out, I'm telling myself, fuck, I don't want the fucking physical version, man. I don't want to have the fucking disc, and then I gotta worry about fucking putting the case down somewhere. I want to be able to just fucking click a couple of buttons on my PlayStation and then fucking
You
just
might even
download.
lose it. You lose that disc
I
somewhere. Case, where is it? Where did I put
no,
it?
I
You
don't
know,
give a fuck, man. Fuck. I don't fucking mind if I have to pay more for
that's
for the
old school
digital
shit,
version.
man.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if I have to pay more for the digital version, man. If I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
the game and own it, then I want
yeah,
to have the digital. I don't want to have the physical. But if it's a game I don't really give a fuck, I just want to beat it, platinum, and sell it. Then yeah, I if I get the physical, I'll do it with the physical because I'm gonna sell it because I don't care about it. But I'm thinking Valhalla. I really like the game. I want to keep it. I want to own it. That's why. So I told the guy, fuck it, I'll skip it. Even though it was only $20 and the physical version is like $80 right now, right? I
yeah.
mean, even though the digital version is 80, the physical, I'm just finding that I don't want the physical copy right away. Whereas my buddy Maynard, the guy in Tennessee, he's the opposite. He will not. He doesn't even want to touch a digital game. And I'm telling him, man, the times are.
But he's a collector, right? He's probably a
Yeah, but
collector.
I'm a
Yeah,
collector as well. If you want to think about it. Like I'm buying these
yeah,
games that I own and I'm playing them like I'm putting like right now I got over 300 hours in Valhalla now with the DLC. So it's not like I'm playing the game for like fucking 1 hour and I'm never playing it again. Like I'm really
yeah.
enjoying the shit out of the game. So, but I'm finding that I don't care to own the physical version at all. And I think that's what's happening with GameStop is that a lot of people
Yes.
they don't give a fuck about owning the physical version either. They're like, fuck that, man. The digital version is just so much more easier.
It's more convenient. Like,
Yeah,
for example, like Saints Row on Tuesday, I can start playing it directly on midnight.
yeah,
I don't
but
have to go stand in line, wait for the opening, midnight release, and that kind of garbage. All that nonsense, right? I can just kick back, relax, drink my, vodka, Smirnoff,
yeah,
with some cherry on top, with a lemon and the fucking umbrella, and I can just go ahead and and start playing Saints Row.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
that
exactly.
convenience, but I also understand your friend and you about collecting certain things. For example, I have in June or May, I have purchased the Ultimate Metal Gear Saga with the Guns of the Patriots disc inside. And I
Yeah,
was like, I need this because I love Guns of the Patriots so freaking much. I need to have this version, this ultimate
yeah.
version of Guns of the Patriots. Very rare. I know how much I paid for it. Are you ready? It's a very rare version, but I have it. The collector's item, $120.
That's all
I
right, man.
got,
If
but
you
hey,
like it, hey, look at me. I went and
look,
I went and I bought The Last of Us 1 and 2. I bought the digital and I bought the physical version for both. But the physical versions, I don't play them. I keep them like like a display on your like your advertising, like your fucking sneakers, like those guys who collect sneakers and they have like a special shelf glass and they have the shoes there or they have like a memorabilia and they're like fucking it's like a decoration. That's how I have The Last of Us 1 and 2, like the case. But when it comes to playing the game, I play the digital version. I never play the physical. But I understand what you're saying, and there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that because, like I said, if you like the game, it's worth it. It's memorable to you. It's an experience for you. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. Like
But this also brings the point about why we now know why GameStop is closing,
yeah,
because of that. And this also makes me worry about the GameFly. I think they might end up in the same situation where, like, people gonna like the distributors gonna say, should we even bother? you know,
well,
but they might. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it might even come to a point where PlayStation and Xbox are gonna say, should we even fucking bother making
Blu-ray player in there.
no, yeah, like yeah, like do we even need to make these physical games anymore? Yeah, we know we gave you the disc tray, but we're
Yeah.
finding it's not financially feasible. Like I've seen a lot of some games now that the digital version is coming out first, and then the physical version is coming out like a month or two later. Like I bought this game, and I would even say it's a masterpiece, Kina Bridge of Spirit. I platinumed the game, and that to me was
Hmm.
the hardest game ever to platinum. But that game, when it came out, it's a PlayStation exclusive. And when it came out, it's a digital version came out first, and then 2 months later they released the physical version. Right now, I'm pretty sure that down the line you're gonna see Sony and Xbox say, it's not worth it. Nobody's really buying the physical version. It costs us more money to make the physical version. Why are we going to keep making the physical version?
Exactly.
Only 20% of people are buying it, and the other 80% are buying the digital version, right? Even movies right now, I follow some guys who are they review the newest 4K discs when it comes out, and even they said right now that companies are struggling to continue making 4K discs because streaming is taking over. Nobody cares about having the absolute best, highest bitrate quality. Yeah, there are some people like that, but the majority of the people, fuck it, they're gonna watch it on Disney Plus. They're gonna watch it on Paramount Plus.
Exactly. They got
You know,
many other choices. Yeah.
yeah, they don't care about
Yeah.
having the absolute highest bit rate of the movie to begin with. So what's gonna happen is they're saying it's not worth it. Like Disney,
Yeah.
like Disney right now, Disney, they say Disney makes the worst 4K disc transfer. They don't put any effort in it at all. It sucks always.
Yeah.
But Disney said, you know why we don't make the best 4K movies, because we don't give a fuck about 4K discs. We
Yeah, they're more focused now because
Yeah,
they have this platform called the Disney Plus. And like,
exactly,
let's put everything there.
exactly.
People are subscribed to it. They're gonna
Yeah,
watch it there. Might as well put it there, right? Why bother with making a disc? Now, let me see this. Oh, that's pretty interesting, Mrs. Mitch. I was just reading about what she wrote. She was originally born in Poland, and after she was born, her parents moved over to UK to Derbyshire. Derbyshire, is that how you pronounce it? Derbyshire, and lived there ever since. And she said that her grandfather was in World War II, served for his country of Poland for 8 years, and he suffered from PTSD, yet his own government didn't help him with therapy side of it. He passed away at 93 back in 2008. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's one of the sad, many stories about how veterans are being treated, not just here in this country, but other countries as well. And it really breaks your heart. You know, your grandfather, veteran, World War II veteran, and the fact that he's being treated like that, it's really sad, because the war definitely has a big effect on the
of course.
human psyche. Human psyche. I know some veterans from Afghanistan, and uh, I don't know if I told you, but one of my friends, he used to, not anymore. He found a new hobby, fishing, but and catching the gators.
Okay.
He loves it. He really helps him. He feels happy. When he sees a gator, he's happy. He loves fishing. Goes going out there in the swamp. But when he came back in 2000, what was it? 2015, when he came back from that tour of I don't know how many, 8 tours of Afghanistan, he used to sleep like Stacy, his girlfriend Stacy, would tell me. He would sleep on the floor with a rifle, and she had to call the cops, and she would even call me to go in there. It was very dicey, man. And I said to cops, please, guys, just maybe tase him, but if it gets dicey, but please, it was bad, man. It was really bad. That I'm so glad that Cameron, that Michael, that's his name, that he found this new hobby with fish and wildlife, going out there, getting the relocating alligators, and then fishing. He loves fishing. He loves working for the fish and wildlife, and then relocating the gators. And it's happy. Like, I see him now, he's happy. You know, he's a happy guy. And even he asked me sometimes to help him out, so I would go and help him out. And that's why I said I got cut myself on the tail of the gator, because their tail skin is really sharp, man. And they're heavy motherfuckers. But the post-traumatic stress disorder, man, the war fucks you up.
Oh yeah.
People don't understand what war does to you. The stuff that you see, I don't want to go into any graphical details here. The stuff that you see, the gruesome violence, right? That's some stuff that takes a long time to erase. You know, you get these anxiety attacks and paranoia and all kinds of craziness. It's so I'm really feel bad for your grandfather that he was treated like that. You know. And she also has a husband. I don't know if I told you this. He's over there in Russia, in the front lines in he's fighting and all that. So she's worried about that as well. But look, war sucks, guys. Who's right, who's wrong? It doesn't really matter. Even during the Bosnian War, when Bosnian Serbs and Croats were fighting, here we are. We're still living together in that region of the country. You know, Bosnians and Serbs are getting married. You know, the Serbs and Croats are getting married with Bosnians. Doesn't really matter. Uh, the war, it's a destructive force. The war doesn't care about what you believe, about your agenda, about what you want, what you don't want. The war, it's like cancer. Its purpose is to destroy life. And that's all war does. Destroys life. It sucks the oxygen out of life. That's why I hate fucking war. That's why I don't like war. And that's why I'll never be the one to raise my fucking hand and say, let's go to war. The war is the last fucking resort when you really have no choice. It should always be the last fucking resort. That's why I hated war. That's what I'm trying to tell people with this whole Sarajevo, Bosnia experience that I had when I was 12 years old, when I was there. You know, so I'm sorry that you know that your grandfather went through that, but I know what war is. I've been there. It's hell, you know. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that. Go ahead,
Oh, it's
Cameron.
true.
Yeah,
It's true. If you kill anything, you're
yeah.
never gonna forget. Now, if you kill a human, that's traumatic for anybody.
And honestly, Cameron, since 1992 in Sarajevo, in Bosnia and Herzegovina, all the innocent life that died for nothing. Really, for it was just it ended life. So many graveyards. Even right now, when you go there, so many graveyards on both sides, on all sides, and even this war with Russia and Ukraine, so many graveyards on both sides. So who is winning? The war. The war itself is winning because that's what war does. Its main purpose is to destroy life. You know, and that's why I hate fucking war.
It's impossible to be the same after that.
Yeah, you can't, man. Yeah, it's that's why I tell people never the war should never be your first option. The war it's something like where you have no choice. Like you're being attacked, you have to defend yourself, and that's it. But this whole thing, let's go here, let's go to Afghanistan, let's go to Iraq. Fuck that shit. Look how many dead soldiers we had since 2003 invasion. Look how many crippled veterans we have. Look how many widows we have. So no, I'm not so eager to fucking say let's go to war. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Who wants to go to war? The politicians, the profiteers, the wealthy motherfuckers. That's who. The ones that don't give a fuck about us and they just want to use us for their agenda to fight their bullshit fucking wars. See, that's the sad fucking part about this whole thing, Cameron. And I've seen this in 93 and 92, and I'm seeing it now. It's these blood-sucking vampires politicians. Let's call them these secret, shadowy one percenters. They're running the world. They want us to fight their fucking wars so they can achieve their fucking goals by sacrificing all of us. That's what fucking sucks, man. That's the shit that people need to remember. This is what Oliver Stone was talking about. This is what a lot of these people are talking about. People who have brains. And I've been there. I've seen it. So I don't get all choked up about the flag and patriotism and all this shit. You know what I mean? That's just the way
Like even when we were like when I was a kid, and we first watch First Blood with Stallone, right? When I was a kid, I didn't really understand the part about the post-traumatic syndrome that he was having, right? And that's why the first movie was such a great depiction, because it was actually showing you what soldiers deal with when they come back into civilization, into normal
civilization. Yeah, civil
and they
world. Yeah,
yeah, and they try to like reassimilate themselves in the regular population of humans. Right now, when I was a kid, I didn't understand that. I was just watching, First Blood, and I loved the story. I loved Rambo, but the deeper meaning was to show you that Stallone, he was just a guy who went to war fighting for a country that he thought loved him, but then he realized that the country didn't love him. They didn't care. He didn't give a shit about him. When he came back, the country, he said they would call him baby killer.
Yeah,
They hated him, and he did everything to protect the American people. But when he came back, the American people, his own people, hated him. But the deeper story was in the movie, like when the cop touches him, and the way that Stallone reacts, it's because he was reacting from a person who was dealing with post traumatic or PTSD, right? And because of that, he would get recollections of what was happening during the war when he was beaten, he was tortured. So every time the cop, like maybe if a cop approached a normal person and spoke to them and said whatever, like a normal person would be like, he would be in his head like, this cop's an asshole, but I'm just gonna say what the cop wants, just to avoid a ticket. But Stallone, he wasn't seeing it like that. Like he was thinking, okay, automatically he goes into like fucking war mode because that's all he knew, right? And
yeah,
and
it's
there's a
true.
scene when he's recollecting, how he was fucking, like how they were forcing him to shower by fucking shooting the hose on him,
And
and
yeah,
even his reactions to simple questions where a normal person wouldn't react that same. It's just because he was dealing with the stress and the side effects of going to war. And in his head, at the ending, near the ending, when Colonel Trotman calls him on the CB, and he's like, commonly to Raven, calling Rambo, do you copy? And then Rambo starts to cry, and he's telling him that he's still seeing the war in his head. Like he's still seeing all of his guys. He's still seeing the death. He's still seeing, he's waiting for the next order.
yeah, it's never over for him. He said
Yeah, exactly. So,
it's a living nightmare, 24/7 for him.
yeah, so I can
Yeah,
only imagine like soldiers, what they go through. But Rambo was actually telling you about that things. But as a kid, I didn't understand that back then until later on. I got older, and I was like, holy fuck,
yeah. And
he's
it's
actually.
true. Like I look at Michael now. Sure, now when I talk to Stacy, when I see him, it took about 6 7 years, and he finally found a hobby that he loves, which is fish, wildlife in Florida, and relocating gators and fishing. He loves fishing, and he's happy doing that because he's focused his mind on that. But he had a really difficult time accumulating himself, adjusting himself to this civil world, this civilization world, let's call it civil world, versus what he experienced in Afghanistan. And where else did he go? He was at 8 tours in Afghanistan. Uh,
Iran, maybe, who knows?
no, no, he actually he went to what was this place he was telling me about? He had to go there in 2006. There was this city that he had to protect from the insurgency. What the fuck was the name of the city in Iraq? Um, it was like it's
Kandahar.
but no, no, that's in Afghanistan.
Oh,
That's in the big mountains over there. Kandahar, that's in the mountains,
yeah.
and Bagram is that airport. But he was telling me about this other place, the city in Iraq that was after they left, it was taken over by ISIS, and they killed everybody. And like these are the kids he knew, played football, played soccer. He would give them chocolate. They would talk about the movies and stuff in video games. And this image in his head now that these kids were slaughtered and beheaded and killed by the ISIS because they took over that city. And I can't remember the name of the city. And it says that shit uh, gave him nightmares, like just this anger, knowing that they had to leave, they had to withdraw, and that's it. That city fell to the ISIS because Iraqis, I guess they weren't, they were too, I guess, chicken shit to fight the ISIS. I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know, but that's what he was telling me. They wanted the Americans to fight that war indefinitely, basically. I don't know if it was a fear being caught by ISIS or whatnot, but when the troops were there, that city was safe. They were able to stop the insurgency. You know, And when he left, what was the name of that? It's killing me that I'll ask him, but it's killing me that I can't remember the name of that city. It was in 2006. Um,
Not
my
Gaza, right?
No, 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 not Baghdad. Oh man, it's by that river. There's a river there. Fuck. And it's killing me that I can't remember
Yeah.
the name of. But I'll ask him. I'll ask him. But anyway, though.
It's kind of like the same situation when you go to prison and you do like serious
Yeah,
time in prison. When you come out of prison, you're never going to be the same person. You've seen a different life. You've
yeah,
seen the worst of humans. And
yeah.
and now it's hard to go back. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, it's and then I mean, he's doing better now. He's doing so much better, and it's good to see him in a good spirits. But dude, I never would ever mention, like even Stacy told me, please don't ever. I said, Stacy, I'll never do that. Bring the war, talk about, because he doesn't like that. He doesn't want to be reminded of that. So I would never, what I mean, Cameron, I would never bring it up to him, to Michael. I would never say, you want to tell me about, like what happened in 2004 or 2005. I don't want to talk, I would never do that to him, because that would only make him angry, because that would bring him back to, to what he hates the most, is that bloody war that he been through. Um, but you're right, man, trying to accumulate yourself and try to fit in, right? How do you fit in, dude, after what you just been through? How
yeah,
do you just come back and like live this normal life? No. How do you do that? You can't just simply come here and just live a normal life. Brush it off. You are a GI Joe. You're the soldier. Act like it. All these assholes. Act like it. You're a soldier, boy. Act like it. Now, fuck you. While you're sitting in your nice little general office out there in DC, it's easy for you to say that. Brush it off. Those 4-star generals, whatever, admirals. Yeah, it's easy for them to say that. They're sitting in a nice air-conditioned office out there in DC while they're fighting the war.
yeah,
Not that I'm trying to disrespect, generals or the ranks, but I'm simply saying they need to understand what these soldiers are going through. You know, they're not robots; they're human beings. They have a heart. They have a feeling. And their psyche can be fucked by what they have experienced. You know,
yep.
and that's scary, man. That stuff. Oh, I remember the city. Oh, fuck. It just came back to me. Thank you, Michael. Ramadi. He was talking to me about Ramadi, that the city of Ramadi. And he was stationed there. He was stationed there with the Delta and the SEALs and the Marines and Rangers. So Ramadi, city of Ramadi, Iraq. And that's what hit him the hardest, is when they had to withdraw from Ramadi. It's the city called Ramadi. And then hearing the news that the ISIS has taken over the city and they killed everybody, they would like burn the children and put them in the cages and start beheading everybody. I mean, dude,
Oh,
the look of,
in
yeah,
those
I mean, fuck, man. Yeah,
in those countries like that, like I said, human life is not even regarded as important. You know what I mean? It's just that's just how it is, and they get used to it. So that's just how it is for them
yeah,
over there. That's why it's people don't understand. Like it's a different life in those countries.
yeah. But it's something you really gotta, there's an old saying my uncle used to say, and it's so true. May he rest in peace. He died from a lung cancer a long time ago because he was a heavy smoker. And he said to me, to truly know something, you have to experience it. You can't read about it. You can't watch movies about it or documentaries about it. It might give you some idea, but that's it. Ideas can fade away. You'll forget about it. But experience, it's something you never forget. See, that's the difference versus you reading about something or even listening about something versus you being there and experiencing the whole thing front and center yourself. that's something that you have to experience, and that's something that these soldiers, they know what they've been through, and they can't express themselves. You know, it's like you ever saw that? There's the movie Black Hawk Down, right?
Yeah, I seen it.
And at the end of the movie, one of the Delta Force guys, played by Eric Bana, and his name was Hoot, name's Hoot or something like that, and he was asked by one of the privates, what's his name, played by that kid. I forgot his name, that actor, Josh something, Hartnett, and he asked him, you going back out there? I said, yeah. He says, don't try to come with me. You're just going to slow me down. And he says, people ask me, hey, why are you doing this? Were you some kind of a war junkie or something? Why you do this, man? And he says, I wouldn't say a goddamn word. Do you know why? Because they'll never understand why we do this. It's about the guy next to you, the one whom you shared everything. Like, how his fart smells, how his shit smells, more about him than his own wife, right? And you spend so much time together in those trenches, right? And that's that bond that you create. This is what Michael told me. Mike, this is the bond that you create, and this bond you create, it's inseparable. It's very emotional, man. It's truly losing a brother, very closest brother, more than your own brother, because you spend all your time with them for 8 years. You know better about them than they know when your dick gets hard, like basically, what would get you excited. They know each other so well. They know how your fart smells and shit, everything. And that's that bond. And when you lose somebody like that, it really hits hard. That's what he told me. And I said, Michael, I can't even imagine, So I have utmost respect. I want people to know I have utmost respect for veterans, people who are in military, serving in military. I have utmost respect on that, big time. But yeah, so well, it's already been 2 hours and 31 minutes. My goodness. That. All right, Mrs. Mitch, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your stories about your grandfather. And so you're Polish and British. That's nice. And her husband is Russian, basically, and he's out there in Russia fighting. And she is 4'2", and she can bench press 600 pounds. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mrs. Mitch. And also, I want to thank you, Mrs. Mitch, for looking out for my channel and doing all of this and taking out the trolls, and I appreciate that. We all appreciate that. Look, this whole channel, and I think Cameron said this many times, it's not just about video games. It's not just about the television. It's really about the personalities. It's about us talking here, having a conversation, just like enjoying each other conversations and talking about the stuff that normally you wouldn't be able to talk about it, maybe to your coworker or at your workplace or what have you. So I feel like that's what's so unique about this channel. Is it's not just the video games, it's not just about televisions. Yes, I do focus on games and television from time to time, but we do other things like this, calling it a lazy Sunday. And I think this is the misunderstanding that some people have about my channel. Honestly, Cameron, I think a lot of people misunderstood what my channel is about, because they hear all kinds of stuff out there, floating around, and they get the wrong perception, right? Versus a perspective on what I'm all about and this and that. And honestly, this channel, it's about me. It's about me and my guests and my friends and stuff that I talk about, things that I like, things that I don't like, and stuff, everything, all of the above. You know, and that's what it's about. It's not about like specific, just one
Yeah.
thing. People think that this is just about the televisions. Yes, I used to do just televisions, but I don't do that anymore. It's not just about the video games, even though I do play video games, but I'm not like a Red Brad or whatever, like those other guys.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? I think it's honestly, Cameron. I think I'm probably the most misunderstood YouTuber on this platform. That's my observation. You know, honestly, people are just they don't understand like what my channel is about. You know, I think that's probably one of the reasons why some people are like hesitant to maybe join in and then watch my channel because they're just misunderstood about what my channel is about. You know, you know what I mean?
But the ones who do join in, I think they like the fact that the channel is about different perspectives. Everybody has a personality. That's why people come here. If you want to watch like a hardcore gaming channel, yeah, they have those out there. But usually those guys, all they do is talk about hardcore gaming specs. Which, like I said, even me, like I'm the best gamer. I don't know the most about technology, but people just like the conversations that we have and the fact that we say what we want. And
Exactly.
maybe it's because I don't know. It's just a personality that's different than most channels. And it's very very rare nowadays, especially on YouTube, where everybody's trying to hide who they are just because they want to stay monetized. So that's probably why people keep coming back, and they always tell us, we make a good combo together. Is because when we
Yeah.
talk, like I said, it's like two buddies having a cigarette outside, shooting the
Yeah.
shit, right, or
Yeah.
having a
And
barbecue.
you know, and I cannot tell you how many people tell me that this helps them. I can show you the emails. I mean, I can show it to you privately, but I cannot put it publicly. But I can show you just how many people contact me and say, "Hey, man, thank you." Whether it's helping them with a TV or making a decision on something, but they say those coffee vlogs, they really help me. Even Dominic told me how much he loves the coffee vlogs. All of that stuff, man, they love it, man. They love listening to it. All those podcasts we did, they enjoy it thoroughly, man. They love it. So I'm glad that there's that support out there. You know what I mean? But there's that other part out there that's people are on the fence because they're hearing all kinds of stuff, misinformation, Mr. 4K this, Mr. 4K that, what I mean? And they're like, which is normal. I totally get it. Yeah, hey, look, it's okay to have your doubts. That's part of your human nature, right? To have your doubts. But I always tell people, come and see me. Come join one of those podcasts, right? And come on, and you'll see that it's totally opposite of what you're hearing from unknown sources out there who don't even know me. you know, so it's important for them to come in here and just join in and join the conversation. And I mean, so.
Sure.
Well, listen, Cameron, I want to thank you, man. This was great. 2 hours and 37 minutes, man. It's not bad
Yeah,
for a lazy Sunday, man. We should do this again on the lazy Sundays
yeah, it was fun. No problem.
and Freaky Fridays.
When's
Yeah,
gonna be
this is
your next live stream?
live stream. It's probably gonna be with the what you call it, that game, Saints Row.
Oh yeah,
I
you're
want,
getting it tomorrow, right? Or today?
yeah, tomorrow, 23rd.
Okay.
Today's 22nd, yeah. But I said something to somebody earlier today. I said on a Quake live stream, I said, uh, I'm going to create my character to be all of the above with a big ding dong, 48 double D's, big ass. I want to make everyone happy. And I'll tell you what, even though I'm going to try to make everyone happy, people still going to say, he's a misogynist, or he's this, he's that. You can't win with the cancel culture, man. I guarantee you. But anyway, it's going to be fun. Look, Saints Row, it's meant to be a fun game. We can create goofy characters. Even you can create your own character, and we can do a co-op. It's about fun. Just going out there, having fun. Just goofy time. It's not about getting butthurt about who kills who in the game.
Yeah.
It's about having a good time, and that's what I'm all about, man. I'm not about drama, and I think you know me well enough now that you know I'm not about that. I even hate making videos about drama and addressing them. It's not my cup of tea. I know it might be entertaining to some people, but not for me.
Yeah.
I like this, having a good time, shooting the shit, having a few drinks, just enjoying the conversation, man. And I want to thank you, Cameron, for coming in
Yeah.
and
No problem.
joining,
No
man.
problem. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome podcast, guys. And make sure you guys follow Cameron. Cameron lifts weights.
All
You'll
right.
see what the 44-year-old can do and what the 44-year-old looks like. He looks like he's in his 20s. So go check him out. Go check out Cameron lifts
I always tell
weights.
people you're only as old as you feel, right? If you feel like you're 20, then you probably are 20. Because
True state of
I
mind.
I know some guys who are 20 and they tell me they feel like they're 50 already. I'm like, then you got a problem because if you're already feeling like that at 20, what are you gonna do when you get older? So,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
I seen some guys in their 50s and they look amazing. And it's
Yeah.
just lifestyle and
Look at Sylvester Stallone.
yeah,
I mean, one example, Sly. I mean, Sylvester Stallone is one great example. Even Vince McMahon. I mean,
yeah,
look at Vince McMahon. I mean, come on. These guys, like, truly inspiration. Even Arnold, man, even at his old age, he still looks great, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you're only as old as your
you
state of
feel
mind allows you to be. You're right.
yeah,
It's all in your mind. It's all mind controlled, man. Well, Cameron, thank you so much, brother. And I'm going to see you in the next one, man. Always a pleasure, brother. Cheers.
take care.
All right. You too, brother. Cheers.